right. Hey guys, I'm Joshua Story. We're going to talk about sponsors this evening, starting off with our veteran sponsorship, +3 to Charisma. +3 to Charisma is a mom and pop store that's been around selling D&D accessories and products such as dice trays. They sell some of our dice towers. They provided a lot of other things such as coasters, stickers with some of their notorious dice goblins, which we normally sell or show displayed on our person. Not tonight though. We also have Lethal Shadows. Lethal Shadows is one of the best one-stop shops for all your TTRPG miniature needs, with over 50 different skilled artists working under their belt, thousands of pre-made, highly detailed figurines from their vast stock, and guess what? A quick turnaround. So, I mean, you're talking items getting shipped within 24 to 48 hours, and quite frankly, you'd be blown away by the level of attention and care that goes into making sure that you're getting some of the best miniatures that you can. And if you don't want a pre-made, you can always have something custom made. So anything from whether it's you got something in mind, such as like your color or race or whatever you have that in design, they'll go ahead and provide that custom option for an additional cost. And they'll get with you to work with one of their custom designers, and you'll get something that's a little more catered to your individual needs. Or if you have a giant, so basically, if you have like something like a giant silver dragonborn with a giant fake bushy beard and a pink tutu and a parasail in mind.
Very specific.
Very specific, oddly enough. Well, guess what? They've got you covered. And then best of all, if you're like me and you find yourself getting a little sentimental about your characters and the journey that they've been on so far, hey, you may find yourself wishing you had something to commemorate it. And guess what? You can do that too. And what better way to do that by taking advantage of one of their premium services that they offer by purchasing a large bust of that character. They also do painting, provide printing. So if you don't have a printer yourself, or if you just want to buy one of the prints that they have available, you can do that as well. Again, that's lethalshadows.com. We also have the Goods Merchant. The Goods Merchant is one of those amazing shops out there that does a lot of custom work. They're run by a gentleman named Tim Payne, who's a vendor, is a custom designer of wood and leather ingrained products. Such as products include some of those custom DM screens, which you may be able to see on screen there.
He just lifted it for it.
Nice. They also do wooden deck boxes for items such as Magic the Gathering or Pokemon or something of that nature. Either way, it's a great place to house your D&D or Pathfinder spell cards. And they also design and sell wooden dice cups, dungeon tiles, and even custom gaming terrain. So they've got a lot of great stuff over there. He works very quickly and closely with his customers to communicate your desires and get those into reality. And if you have a design you want implemented in your gaming gear to show off at the table, well, stop over the Goods Merchant and let them know that we sent you. That's all I got for the sponsors for this evening. Woo!
All right.
That was a mouthful. Thank you. Having some fun time with my hair tonight. Where's that hair accessory? Ah, there we go.
So, I guess let's go right into it.
We'll talk about subscriptions real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You should subscribe. If you're watching us on Twitch right now, you can click and subscribe. We do have 3 tiers to our subscriptions. At $4.99, you can become a Ruby Canyon miner, access to a private Discord channel with the DM where you'll be able to take part in a vote on a special encounter that will happen during each of the episodes. At Tier 2, at $9.99 a month, is Black Iron Merchants, access to a private Discord channel with the DM, as well as the ability to take part in a live video chat with the cast. And that's reserved for Tier 2 and above and takes place once a month. Tier 3, at $24.99 a month, is the Platinum Conquerors, access to all of the above, as well as the opportunity to partner with our DM to create a custom NPC, your own design, based on your input for the current campaign that will spring up somewhere in the game. You don't know if you'll be a character we'll run into or a character who'll try and kill us. You can find the link in our Discord server, which you should go ahead and join. If you would like to help support the channel but aren't quite ready to commit to paying a monthly subscription, if you have Amazon, you can always go and do the once a month. They get an opportunity through your Prime account. You can provide a single voucher each month at no additional cost to you, and that can be used to support any Twitch channel you like we wouldn't mind if it was us. Simply click the subscribe button below and choose Amazon Prime as your payment method. Now, because this is a voucher, you would have to manually resubscribe using the same method every month. And bear in mind that you may need to link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account in order for that to happen. Also, if you're already a member and would like to just make a small one-time donation to the channel to help keep us going, then simply click the button in the About section labeled Donations to the Channel. Just remember, whether you choose to donate, subscribe, or lurk around in the chat, we appreciate your stopping by and hanging out with us, and we hope you enjoy this adventure.
Specifically lurk. We love the lurkers.
How am I sounding? You might need to dial in my mic since I was last to sit down. How are we sounding? Like I'm in a tin can? Is my
Great.
mic on? Are you sure it's on right now? I don't think it is. I don't think maybe it's not on.
Well, I'm not the one who
That's
said
what,
it.
that's
So.
what it is.
Yeah.
So we may take a second to work on my mic. if you
Please
want to
pause
maybe-
for technical difficulties.
Feel free to chatter about yourself
Ah,
and your personal life.
Perhaps that was...
Or your characters.
You know, so I know I haven't talked about this in a while, but I actually have a little project that I'm working on. It's a little fan-made project, but hey, you know, as long as the check clears, right? So it's a Harry Potter project, and I'm voicing Salazar Slytherin in a. Again, hey man, you know, whatever. It's cool. I'm excited. It's a lot of fun. It's gonna be an audio project coming down the pipes, and you know, once we get a little bit more information and they have some stuff that's ready to display and give out, I'll bring it up and give you guys the link. But
That's awesome. How did I not know about that? Did I not? I didn't know.
are you a Harry Potter fan at all?
I love Harry Potter. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I'm
So,
Slytherin
so
too,
this is so this is the founders of Hogwarts. So it's kind of like an origin story.
That's amazing.
So we get to play around with that.
Do you need a tap?
Everyone's at home listening. Just
Mike's working.
bring me down. I'm blasting everyone's ears right now. Is that better? Is that better? I was tapping. He was at like 100%.
But
I'm going to give a tap with this baseball bat right here.
How is that? Is that working? Sorry, I'm not gonna go into my like that either.
I think
Okay,
we're
cool.
almost ready here.
We are ready.
We are ready.
So, let's do a quick little recap of what happened last time. Exactly, last time. That was my childhood, coming home from like the 4th grade or whatever,
love
walking
hearing that
home.
narrator's
Yeah,
voice
right.
all the time.
So good.
All the time.
So last time, our party was going from Karsten over to Hausfeld, kind of on our way to Mornheim, but also on a little side quest of trying to figure out what was going on in that little misty forest place. Vigo picked up a quest to save the children of the forest, even though he was drunk when he accepted it, but it's okay. You know, we still completed it. The party went into the forest. We found the source of the mist. They canceled off the source of the mist, and they finished their quest, and now we need to figure out what's going to happen next. Also, we had a little moment at the end of the last game, and that's kind of where we're going to pick up now, of where our beloved Echo Knight is having a moment of almost like an existential crisis or something going on in his head. So that's kind of where we're ending off at our last point. As you cleared out this misty forest, all the bodies are now, all those sort of zombies you were fighting, turned basically to dust in front of your eyes. And the forest just seems to be just a normal forest now. So, what is everybody doing here? After we saw Chia, of course, get teleported away in that little phase circle of mushrooms, which is now deactivated, unfortunately, so no one else can escape. You're stuck with me now.
then
So last time, I look at look at Valir, and I go over to him, and I'm just like, what's wrong?
I think this is
Aren't you-
before...
Weren't you kneeling
this is-
down? You were kneeling down because you.
So I think the last point of last game, though, we had the point where when everybody turned around, I was hugging my Echo Knight.
Oh, were you hugging him? I didn't
Yeah.
hear that last part.
Was
Sorry.
it remnants? I thought it was like remnants.
No, no.
So your Echo Knight came back and you were hugging.
Yes.
Oh.
Gotcha.
Because
Okay, I didn't know
I
that
had to be
either, so-
doing something during the whole time everybody was saying goodbye to Chia.
Gotcha. So you were having that moment. Everyone else was saying goodbye to Chia, and of course you were kind of in your own space at that point.
Yes.
Everyone turned around to you, and you were now hugging your Echo.
So I go up to him, and I'm just like, walk up. Why didn't you say bye?
To who?
Chia.
She's gone.
I didn't know she was leaving.
Yeah, well. What's wrong?
She'll be back.
We do hope so.
Well, why were you over there?
Well, as far as I knew, we died.
We? What do you mean we? We're alive.
He gestures at his echo.
Oh. Well, it wasn't really there, was it? I mean...
He seems pretty there to me.
Oh, well, I mean, is there... I look over, I yell to Nelius. Is there a spell we could use, possibly?
He's back. I'm figuring out why. But we are together again. I just had never seen that happen.
I come running up and so can you believe she just left like that? I mean, it was what's with all the solemn looks?
We died, but we're back.
Well, what if it's I don't know. Maybe it's just some sort of resurrection thing you have. Maybe you're connected to it. That could be it.
I just had never had to experience it before. We have been together for decades.
Well, you're back. That's not too bad. So where to next? I mean,
Well, I thought it was some sort of astral projection.
that's what I thought too.
I've
No,
seen it
we take
before.
different actions.
Well, so does my Drake, but my Drake isn't from, an actual dragon. It's,
But is your Drake real?
yeah, kind of.
Why wouldn't we be real?
You are.
That's just weird. Okay, well, look. Gia's gone. It's just us. What should we do?
Where did she go?
She is not gone. She simply went to find her friend.
Hey, look, she left, okay? She's gone from the group. It's fine. We gotta figure out what we're doing now,
To
since...
go where?
She went with the druid.
The druid?
Yes. The bear.
There was a bear?
Yeah.
All of this happened while I was over
Yeah,
there.
I know.
guys.
It's everything.
He saw nothing.
None of this was seen by me.
Everyone, look.
The bear from earlier.
And they're telling me I'm crazy.
Look, everyone, we finished what we
Was
had to
the
finish.
bear really there?
Yes.
The bear was really
The bear
there.
was there. Look, we're done with what we had to do here. Let's head back. We can tell them what happened to the children and everything. It's not going to be great news, but it's something.
Are there
Be very
any remnants of the dead that we fought?
Heiko, you see a single flower sprouting from one of the pile of ashes. Besides that, no bodies.
Nothing.
It just seems to be ash and dust.
Look, casualties always happen. Let's just move on.
What kind of flower is that?
You can roll and see if you...
That would be a 16 for medicine.
You may have seen this before. You don't exactly know the name of the flower, but you do know that this is a flower that would grow on graves of certain, like where bodies are buried, stuff like that, just out of the graves. Specifically those, many times, who were pure of heart. It doesn't seem like it was growing out of one of the bodies you slayed, though. It seemed like it was growing out of maybe where one of the people were from
We
the
should
party.
dig there. I take out my blade and start poking at the ground to bring up chunks.
What are you doing?
The body is probably buried here. It's the child of one of the parents that were asking us to come here. If we can bring back some remnant of her, or another child, but I'm presuming it was the first child we saw.
I would not disagree.
Your sword does strike something solid under the ground.
All right, fine. Let's start
Start clearing.
digging. I help him dig.
You dig and you find in a burlap sack what appears to most likely be a body. It is not a large body.
Was it a shallow grave?
It was a very shallow grave.
So it's the girl.
You don't know if it was buried or maybe if time itself sort of...
Well,
Buried
time
it.
didn't put it in a burlap sack.
No.
Can we
Sorry, I don't know why I laughed at that. That was dark, but funny. I'm just like, time to not put it there. Don't say anything worse. Don't say anything worse.
Can I roll for perception or anything to see if I can see anything about the sack itself, or?
You could roll for something like perception or investigation, or just tell me what you're wanting to find out about it, and I'll tell you what you can roll.
This is like
I want to see how old it is, possibly if there's any markings on the sack that may lead us to something.
Just investigation in general would be fine then.
So
We'll
we're
do that.
playing NCIS Dungeons and Dragons.
We are now.
Can I be the guy that takes off his glasses and be like,
It looks
well,
like this
maybe
was-
she got sagged. Like, just say something
Got
stupid like
sagged.
that. I don't know.
That's an investigation. That's a 10.
10.
Int times that.
You don't get much besides the fact that you know it's been here for a little while.
You got to Law and Order. That's like Law and Order if you get a 10.
Dun dun.
NCIS.
Is that what it is?
Dun,
Dun
dun,
dun.
dun,
Dun, dun, dun, dun. No, you don't really get anything besides the fact that it's been there. It's not just been there for like a day or two. It's been there for at least weeks, maybe if not months, for years. You don't even know.
Weeks. So it's not. It's a decomposing body. It's not.
It looks like the sack itself is, yeah, it's starting to most likely, it's past the point of like probably rotting to where it's already like decomposed. So that's been there for a while.
So I think I will lift the sack out, and lay it out.
Well, I'm gonna be
Well, he
carrying
still
back
has
with
it.
us, Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
we
gonna
will-
carry
we
it.
So
will be-
who's carrying it right now?
I have it.
Sorry.
If you don't mind, before maybe we can check.
I'd rather that happen with somebody who it is their job to check bodies.
At least we
None
should
of us are qualified
at
for
least
that.
give it a proper burial.
Yes.
Get the proper rights and send it off.
Yes.
You seem to
A
forget.
cleric, a paladin, somebody of that ilk. We are not.
Look, let's just head back now. We have what we want. We did what we did. Let's go.
Looking around, are there any more of those flowers?
It seems they forgot that I am a monk.
There are no more flowers. As you look around, though, you do see, even though everything else is cleared in this forest, all this mist and everything, you do see the same child standing there, off on the edge line of the trees. The one who referred to herself as Susie, and she looked at you and she says, "Ha, you found me, Tag, you're it," and then runs back into the forest.
Oh, creepy.
I'm gonna go after Susie. Susie, wait!
She seems it seems as though as soon as she steps foot into the forest, she just disappears.
But she's finally free.
Yes.
Elf,
Well, it's time to find a family.
Elf, couldn't you tell what that was?
Yes.
Let's go. We gotta get out of here.
I shake hands with my echo in like a brief moment of like, don't you go anywhere. And then as I turn, he shimmers away.
Okay.
I tell the DW as he does that to his echo. I like kind of look at over to him and I go like, "We need to talk more about spirits, because you know my Drake isn't real, right? I cast it out there, so maybe there's something that your echo does as well."
But when you cast it, it's more of a summon.
Yeah, but I'm not thinking it's going to, permanently die. It's something I learned in growing up.
But when it returns, is it the same Drake?
Well, I don't know. I've never had that happen to me yet.
That is possibly the difference.
Also, you haven't rested since the night before, correct? Time sort of slipped away from you here, and you do feel that your bodies are tired now, even though it seemed like it was maybe only an hour or two. It feels like it's been a whole day.
We're not sleeping here.
Yeah, so you can you can sleep in this forest, or you can obviously get back to town first
With
before
the
taking a nap.
ghosts. Little
Well,
ghost
before
girls.
Someone else
Leave.
wants to play hide and seek.
I would like to.
Tag, you're it.
With the body. Yeah, no.
Sorry.
Just cuddle up with this. It'll be- No.
What would you like to do, Heiko?
Can we have a bear?
I would like to just do a quick little prayer for the dead.
Okay. Do you have any sort of ceremony spell or anything like that at all, or are you just doing a prayer?
I'm just doing a quick prayer.
Okay.
So, yeah. Just a prayer for the dead and for the cleansing of the forest.
Roll for
Relate some insights.
religion for me, just because we're doing stuff.
If you want to do rites, I will lay her down for any type of rites.
Yeah, you
I
can do
don't.
rights.
I don't know a specific religion, so if you have an idea of a religion that would be relevant to her, I will lay her back down.
We can wait. We've seen the spirit.
That's why I was just figuring taking her to her town where her religion is
What are you doing?
celebrated.
That's 18.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you can pray to, if you have a specific deity that you want to pray to, or if you want to pray towards any other deity, you absolutely can. You can recall most things that you would need to say to perform these.
My path is the way of enlightenment, so I pray to the universe, and that she returns back safely, that all that are there can go back to where they came from. May they find rest, and may this forest find regrowth.
With that prayer, you see along the edge line of the forest, you see the same party that was had before, the people celebrating everything. They're all kind of standing there, and they're kind of waving as they all kind of disappear as well.
Released all their souls.
Well, now I know ghosts exist. Great. Onward then.
So,
As we walk back, I am going to have a chat with you about suggesting maybe tying a scarf around the drake's neck or something the next time to see if when it comes back it has that scarf kind of thing.
My drake's still
Doing that,
there. So, wait, one second. My drake's still there because like I had it summoned in the battlefield. So it's
you had it summoned.
Did it ever
What's
get-
the time? Do you know the time on your summon? How
It's
long
a
it
day.
lasts?
It's a
Okay,
full
then
day.
it's there for
It's
sure.
still there. So
Yeah.
my drake's like following.
So
me.
I'm making that statement. You may
Okay.
want to see if it's the same one that comes back. Leave some sort of.
Ask him to do the same thing to his echo.
Well, he comes back in the same
All right,
clothes
no,
every time.
no. This is how we're bonding. Like, so it's like kind of a little thing. So I was like, all right, why don't you do the same thing to your echo?
Because he's already dressed exactly like me. I know he comes back.
I'm saying change something. Put something else that's different from you on him.
I'll
do the
think
same.
about that the next time I see you.
Right. I'll do the same to my drake. I don't know. I'll tie a piece of cloth, like you said, around its neck or somewhere.
I'll see what happens.
I mean, we kind of have something interesting here. I mean, dragon and replicant of you. It's nice.
Well,
A replicant.
I wouldn't call him a replicant.
What is it?
He sometimes thinks differently than me.
But he looks like you.
Twins look alike.
So he's your twin?
I don't know if that's the best word for it either.
Have you ever thought that maybe
Magic.
he's simply just a projection of your spirit? Maybe another half, perhaps.
That is always how I viewed it. Which is why upon seeing him die, it did not suit me well.
I wish I had a projection of spirits. I wish I could have like 10 of me.
I understand.
Trust me, 2 is more than enough.
10 Digos on a dragon. That would be great. Huh.
Somehow I think that would throw the world off balance.
What about 5 Valiers? That would be 5 Meliuses.
Now that would be something, wouldn't
That'd be terrifying. That's what it would be.
I have no doubt that at some point you will learn the spell to create.
Don't teach him that. Do not.
I don't know it to be able to teach him.
Don't teach him. Don't you dare learn
Well, I
that.
have learned this little trick.
Oh my.
Oh, yes.
By the gods above, you're gonna do that.
It's not a copy of me, but it is. I don't exactly know what he looks like, but he does tend to bring me things when I ask for it. Do simple tasks.
Like, you're God.
No, no. Like when look, say for example, if I wanted a stein or something that was out of reach, or better yet, say that I was in the loo, right? And then I.
His
Are you making a deal with the
Dark
demon? Are you? Do you have a pact with the demon? Is that how you get things?
No, it's not a demon.
What is it?
I'm walking off
It's
his
a
head.
conjuration from another realm.
I am
What? It's a
following.
conjuration from another realm.
I can only imagine that's
Really?
what it works.
So you made a pact with the demon and it brings you things? Is that what I'm hearing?
No,
Just a
no,
quick-
no.
We have someone who pact with the demon. Demon brings him things.
And there's an hour of this because it was
Yeah, just going back and forth.
Slowly walking, and I'm talking to him, saying
Yeah.
like the most like religious talk ever.
You
I'm like, a demon brings you things.
And you
right?
finally leave the tree line, and the conversation is still going on. The herb check I kind of already did for you with the one I gave you.
Oh, okay.
So that was just that was what
Okay.
you found in the forest.
Totally fine.
You reach the end of the tree line here as the conversation maybe finally comes to an end, maybe not. You do see Hausfeld just on the very short distance in front of you because it's only like a 5-10 minute walk, and you notice the roads going from Hausfeld that were once busy and just cluttered with people, they're just empty and barren now. That is the first thing that you notice as soon as you leave. You also do notice that it is almost looks like it's going on like twilight, like it's almost becoming you can almost start to see the sun start to rise on the other side of, the horizon.
We should get rest.
How far in is the nearest church?
The nearest church would be in Hausfeld. I mean, if you could call it a church, you could probably look for signs of religious activity and whatnot.
Yes.
And you could find one that's on the outskirts, towards the northern edge of where you're
Is there?
at. And there's a graveyard just outside of it as well, just like most churches would have.
So you're saying the town is deserted for the most part?
It mostly looks deserted, yeah. And when you remember how before everyone was leaving Karsten and just a mass exodus of people going towards what we can only assume is like Mornheim or something like that, the roads are just empty now. And the city itself also looks mostly empty. I mean, it is also like 4 a.m. or something like that right about now. So, I mean...
Yeah. Well, then, for the church, we'll head.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll knock on whatever establishment has the religious people living there.
No response from inside. It seems like it's a church. You don't know if it necessarily houses any sort of the clergy or anything, but it doesn't seem like anyone's inside
Are
currently.
there any candles on or anything?
No.
This would be the safest place to sleep, unless you want to try and get a place to sleep at 4 a.m.
You'll hear no argument for me on that.
Yes, I'll be fine.
Can we get into the church?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And there's no locked doors or anything. It's just there's no one inside.
Sleep on the pews.
Okay. Everyone
I'm
can
gonna-
have
I'm
a
gonna
long
lay
rest if
her
that's what we're doing.
body, up next to the altar, though.
Okay. You lay her body up against the altar. Everyone's going for a long rest here?
Yes.
I'm
Okay.
gonna go for a nice little meditation.
Gotcha. Just roll a group perception check for me as you are falling asleep.
Well, we can
All of us?
split the night
course.
so that he's awake for half of it, I'm awake for
Sure.
half of it.
Who's awake for the first half and the second half?
How are you feeling?
No, I'm feeling pretty good. I
My
did take some
And do you
damage.
want to take the first?
Well,
Oh,
I did
if you've taken damage, take the first rest.
Yes.
I will take the first awake.
Okay.
my Drake also stays watch until it disappears.
Okay.
Perception of 20.
Perception of 20. Awesome.
Dirty
You
trouble.
you do notice that someone comes to unlock the door for the church, and they notice you sleeping there. They don't seem alarmed or anything, but they do see the body against the altar, and that's when they start to, their eyes go wide, and they
So,
see
and this is while I'm awake.
you're awake. Yes.
I will approach,
Mhm.
and hands not in like the surrender position,
Mhm.
but the I can explain kind of position.
Yeah, it's around sunrise around this time probably.
We found her body in the misty woods. All of the disappearances. I believe this is Susie.
I-
We encountered her.
I
I
don't.
believe she was a child of somebody from this town, but she was buried in or possibly just buried by time in that sack. We figured bringing her to a church was the best thing we could do for her.
I appreciate you doing that. All I know is the children's tales of the forest. I don't know a Susie, but if you like, I can lay her to rest in our graveyard outside. I'm sure she's maybe one of ours.
Could you also give her a once-over from what you have seen and see if there's anything unholy or...
Oh yes, of course. I can do a sort of post-mortem. Yes. I'll take her to the back room. I'll be there if you need me.
I'm more than happy to stand outside in case you need anything. With what we faced in those woods, I don't expect it to be an issue, but on the off chance, my sword is for your use.
Thank you. Yes, I'll take her. And he takes the burlap sack into the other room. Everyone else, if you rolled a perception check high enough, you might have woken up during this time. It's up to you if you want to interact, but otherwise, you mostly slept through
I
it.
was rolling my Drakes. It was 13, so he was awake.
He probably noticed the person come in. It's up to you. I don't know what your Drake
He's, like,
would
kind
be
of my
doing on
wake-up
standby.
call, so, like, he would
Well,
wake
there's
me
no
up.
threat from the person.
Yeah, there's
so
no
would you have
threat.
him wake you up with no threat.
Yeah, as I was about to say, it's up to the way your
It's up to
Drake
you
would
to
react
calm
to a
him
person just sort of walking in the
'Cause
room.
I'm under his, like, he's, like, kind of idle right now. I don't
Alright.
have control over him.
He probably would have stood guard over you and maybe not have woken you up, I would
Okay.
assume, during all this.
Okay.
Yeah, there was no movement towards you
Yeah.
in that time.
I rolled a 3, so I'll continue to meditate.
Okay.
in my
You
trance.
snore.
Well, meditate, but yes.
Okay. All right. I mean, during this time, you're probably about to wake up. You're about to probably go to sleep at this point. He does walk out of the room. He says, "I inspected the body. Nothing really out of the ordinary. I did see some scars on one of her bones. I'm assuming maybe that was the fatal blow to her. I don't know what else to say. No sort of dark magic or anything that I could detect.
That is good, yes. Any blessings you can give her for rest, and I would mark it as Susie, and I will check with the people of the town. It seems rather quieter than when we went into the woods. Did something happen during the time we were gone?
We were all told to stay inside and mostly stay out of any sort of danger. There's been a lot of danger in the area.
Told by who?
The Order. The Order told us to stay inside and make sure we all stayed safe.
Who's the Order?
They're the ones who keep the area of this sort of whole peninsula under safety and control and the
Above
champion.
table reminding you, the Order
Yes.
of the people we faced.
Right.
They were sneaking away the champion.
Are you?
They're the ones.
Are you asleep
Wait.
right now?
Oh, we're still asleep. I am so sorry. My bad.
True.
I'm not waking up. I should have said waking up. That's my bad.
No, you're good. And then, yeah, of course, you could switch shifts. He actually takes the body out to the back, and he starts to, by himself, dig a grave for Susie and make a sort of headstone for her.
If there's any time before I would be waking him up, I will help with the grave, and then
Okay.
I'll tag Aiko.
A couple,
for
like
that.
30, 40 minutes or something like that, for sure. It's probably all it took, so you helped with that. You saw him perform the rites,
Yeah.
and then now you switch spots.
Yeah, I would probably, if he's outside, I would probably walk outside,
Okay.
As I-
join them.
I know.
And then before we switch.
As I go to sleep, I thank the whoever has he introduced himself as priest, clergy.
He's more
Caretaker.
more like a clergy, I guess you could say, like a clergy caretaker-ish kind of thing. He's not the head priest of this area, no.
I thank him for letting us sleep here after the fight we had.
Of course, yes. Any who are in need, yes. Just make sure you stay safe. And you wanted to say something, Nelius? I know you look like you wanted to. No.
No.
Oh, you're so intent. You're just
Yeah.
you're like.
What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen?
Okay. Other than that, I mean, otherwise the whole rest we'd wake up for the whole long rest. Everyone okay with that? Nothing else has really happened during this time.
I think at this time I would just kind of be inspecting around outside the church. Just
It's
trying to get a feel.
by the time you wake up, and it's like I said, around sunrise is when you wake up. Another 3 or 4 hours go by, and even after sunrise, it seems like you don't see us. From what you could tell, not a single cart has gone past you going north towards Mornheim, where you're planning on going next.
So I'll just be outside the church. Slight meditation, a little bit of just morning training until everyone decides to wake up.
And right towards the end of all that, you see Sharna walk into the tavern along with your little dwarf friend from the Warriors Guild. They walk back into the tavern.
I wake up as well. I don't train near you, but I go out to stretch and do morning training as well.
I come out and watch you.
You come out and watch me?
Watch you do your training thing.
Yeah?
Flippy.
Is that what you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're having like a Top Gun moment where he's like
Yeah,
playing
no,
beach
no,
ball
yeah,
or
that's what I'm
whatever, with
thinking,
his shirt off.
green light,
just
orange
watching
light,
you.
skin showing, and just play that
Oh,
music.
boy.
You got my back, Goose.
And here's where the fanfic starts.
Can I get aviators on and just have the thing?
Oh,
where I'm just
absolutely.
I'm shooting my arrow, and it's just like, yeah.
For the context of the scene, I will allow aviators.
I am reminded of our drinking escapades at the
No, this is what happens in reality. I'm doing I'm doing my morning training, and then next thing I look over at Nelius, I'm just like, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Training.
All right. Well, what's happened to the body?
Yeah. What did happen to the body? I was.
So I'm kind of balanced on my my staff, and I just kind of come down.
Elf.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to the body?
She has been put to rest.
By who?
A priest came in and helped Lear.
Oh, well, that was good timing, I guess. It's fortuitous, wasn't it?
I come out of my meditation.
If you would like to say a few words, she is over there at the cemetery.
No, I'm all right. I think we had enough of those words and their entertainment for the night.
Yes.
Ugh.
Well, it was a good deed.
What
Sharna and
Norin.
Norin have entered the tavern. We should.
We should
Hurry up.
report
Since there's only 4 of us, whatever happened to what was his name? Toka. Remember him?
Yes. Did
Whatever
he say
happened
he
to him?
lives in around Mornheim?
So maybe we will find him along the way.
Be nice to have another fighter with us. Considered we're 4 now.
Well, we have some business with the Fighters Guild. We did complete our mission, did we not?
Well, I have business with the Fighters Guild, considering what I did.
We also have 3 that, well, and we are all in on your commitment for that. They made us all join in your commitment.
Right.
But we also have the others, the 3 that should be joining us.
Yes. They'll be waiting for us there.
So, let's go see
The
Sharna.
tavern. I thank the clergyman. Again.
He also he thanks you, and he seems very humbled by the fact that you went into the forest and did all that for their lowly town.
I
basically.
tithe a little bit. I'll give a full gold.
Awesome. Yeah, he is just he's taken away. He doesn't see that kind of kindness pretty much ever, maybe never in his whole life, it seems. You walk up to the Muck Puddle, the tavern there in Hausfeld, and you notice the 2 guards that were there before are also not out front.
Makes it
So
easier.
you could just walk straight in if you
Have
like.
to sneak in the back.
Keep my hat on.
Easy.
My head ducked low.
Okay.
So we go in. I'll be the first one to go in.
And on the screen, you can actually see the outside of the tavern.
Ooh.
So you're going to be on the this side over here, which would be the top of the screen, northernmost side. It's probably
That
scale
table.
yet. Where is the scale? I'll pull it more.
The floor is moving under
I
me.
know, sorry.
The floor is moving. I'm scared.
I'm placing it.
It's a
Alright, I can
curse.
take this just so we can see what's going on here.
The battle cam.
Is it?
Behold.
So many cables. We have like freaking 50 cables going on here. It's ridiculous. What it takes. It's what it takes.
Something to that degree.
I mean, the audience doesn't necessarily need to see this. It's more so the players get to see exactly where they're at. And once we have the battle came up, maybe we'll be able to show it the audience as well. But you approach the front of the tavern here. You walk straight in. And you also notice that the tavern seems to be, even though it was pretty empty before, it seems almost barren now. You only see Sharna, Norin, and you see in the corner of the room a familiar face of Telka. If you can have Telka come in, and we can place...
None of the 3?
You do not see the 3, no.
There's fast hands.
Yeah, we need to see some fast hands.
Yeah.
Fast hands. You can place these 2. This is going to be the orc, and this is going to be the dwarf. And you can place them on just any of the tables really there. It doesn't really matter too much. And then Telka, you can place yourself wherever you would be in the bar.
Hey, welcome back, man.
What's that? Set up?
It's pointed currently at a microphone.
It is. Is that? Can you actually see what's going on here?
I
I
can.
was talking
No,
about the
he's
battle
meaning
cam,
the battle
but yes. Aim down more. Gotcha. Aim down. Better? More? It's rough. I think it's just not tall enough, probably. Does it need to get higher up? We can put it on a box. Okay, let's get a box and put it on it. If you don't mind, we should have plenty of boxes.
Yeah, we can do that.
Apple box.
Apple box, flying apple box.
We can do this.
That's one. There we go. You can put that beneath it. It might need more than that, actually. This is ooh, that's barely big enough. Bigger ones are better.
Well, you know, they say the bigger the better.
There we go.
Bigger the better, what?
This is a PG show.
Yeah.
The
PG?
bigger they are, the harder they fall.
What?
I don't know about that.
What? PG?
No, try
That
again.
was not in my contract.
As in parental. What's a do not see it G word? There we go. I see it. Yeah, we can see enough. There's a glare there though, but let me see. Can I avoid that
PG-13, the
glare?
F word can slip out of it.
No!
The ceiling!
Our super expensive webcam. Oh my gosh, this is not gonna. It's pulling on it too much.
You're showing all the secrets.
All the secrets. It's just, it needs to go back more. It can't, it's pulling too much on the cord.
For now.
That'll do,
Hey,
pig.
there we go.
That'll do, pig. That'll
Don't
do.
touch it.
All right, so Speak with the bartender, who is not labeled with any dice, but we know he's back there somewhere doing something. What does the party do as they enter the tavern here?
Do we notice?
Yeah.
You do, yeah, you do.
Okay.
It's half drows or drows in general are pretty rare that you've seen so far in Vol'Antia.
So,
Well, then I guess I would say,
I see him
speak
too,
of the
with you.
devil.
Well, well, well. Look who it is. You finally decided to come back.
Well, I've been here for quite some time. You're just now coming back.
Right.
We're only gone for the night.
I mean, could have been with us in the forest.
Well, I had other things to do. I had a contact. He was supposed to meet me at the bar, but he never showed up.
We have 3 that are supposed to meet us, and they have not arrived yet, so maybe a similar story.
Perhaps this is connected somehow.
I wonder if the Order is having a hand in this.
Who is it that you were supposed to meet?
It was an informant.
Well, we're supposed to be meeting with the orc and the dwarf over there. They're part of the Warriors Guild. You should come with us.
Yes.
All right. I walk over, so I should actually move my characters. I go from here to here. So,
Right next to your beloved.
yeah, I kind of awkwardly,
Everyone can place themselves wherever they want to be.
Put me next to the orange die.
kind of awkwardly go
Perfect.
up.
You
I go
moved
up
me
to.
right where I want to be. At it.
In the corner.
Hey,
All by
nobody
himself.
puts baby in the corner.
And you go up and do what now exactly, Diego?
Oh, fellow orc. I mean, fellow warrior clan members. Sorry. You look great today. You look good. Good.
Yes, you were the one from the north.
Yes.
I remember you, yes.
Yes. Yes. So, continuing my quests as going up to the keep.
To Mornheim.
Yes.
that's
Yes.
where,
Yes.
mhm.
To Mordheim.
Yes, you and your friends, all of you. Yes, correct.
With our help, he has completed his task for the other Warriors Guild of the mystery going on in the forest.
Right. Right. Yes. Yes.
It has been cleansed.
Oh, I see. Well, you could report to the Warriors Guild in Mornheim and collect your rewards there if you so seek it. If that is where you are.
Is
off
there
to.
one who might know the children that were lost in the forest, specifically possibly the first one that was lost?
Well, you could speak with the Order. They might know. I do not know of any of the named childs that walked into the woods.
Actually,
Well, the clergy is supposed to make an effort at it, so I will leave it to him.
I trust they will.
it may not be a bad idea. At least one who is not recognized.
That is the problem I run into.
Yes.
Considering they were at the door looking for me, I did not figure
Well,
it
you
a good
and
idea
I-
for me to go talk to the Order now.
You and I would not be able to speak to them, but we may glean some sort of information.
You see Norin kind of looking at his cup and sort of like just his fingers going around the top of the cup, and he's not really like making eye contact with anyone at the table here. He's kind of just doing his own thing off in his own world.
Norn the orc.
Norin the dwarf.
Dwarf. Sorry. Dwarf.
Yes.
Norm,
Norin, yes.
What's
is there
seems to be troubling you?
something that's... Yes.
I'm going to roll insight.
Go ahead and roll insight.
Is it
absolutely.
empty?
Is the cup empty?
16.
Something seems off. He seems he seems uncomfortable.
What has happened, my friend?
Oh, with me? Nothing. It's it's all good. It's all good. Yeah.
Your demeanor has significantly changed since the last time we met.
I have less alcohol in my system. That's what's changed, you know. Sharna, I'm gonna go ahead and go outside.
Lean in. There's one thing that happens when you spend a lot of time alone in the woods. You begin to recognize when people change because you've watched them so carefully.
He does a gulp. He's
Start
I kind of...
talking.
I rolled for intimidation, so...
oh well. He would currently be rolling for intimidation,
Well,
but you.
I'm just kind of backing him up. I don't say anything. I just crack my
So that's a
knuckles behind
16
him.
for intimidation?
Do you have that's a 16 total?
16 total.
Does he have a plus to? Roll again. I think that'd be a tie.
Okay. That would be a 17. No, 18.
18. Both high rolls. He looks at you and he just says, no doubt about it, friend. But I think this conversation is between you and Sharna here, so I'll go ahead and leave.
You were originally going with us. What has changed?
I'm not. I'm still going with you. Yeah, I'm going to be waiting outside. And you see, it's
There's nothing suspicious about that.
No, not at all. Yeah.
I speak to Sharna in Orcish, and I say to him broken to her, "What's wrong with him?"
She looks at you and she says, "Just let him go. He's had a rough day.
Well, as in what? What happened?
Don't worry about it."
A version of me appears at the windows and is keeping an eye
The
out.
dwarf is starting to walk towards the door right now. You can try to stop him if you want to, but he is walking towards the front door.
I'm looking out the window to see if anybody else movement in the streets, anything outside of the tavern.
Doesn't seem to be any movement outside of the tavern. Go ahead and put the dwarf directly at the door, and if no one wants to stop him, he'll just walk out the front door.
Well, he can walk out the front door.
The dwarf is the brown one. Then you can just give it back to me, and I'll
I'm
just
gonna
remove
walk out the back door
it. Okay.
and come around the corner.
Go ahead and the back door's gonna go that way. You go back to the kitchen, and the door. As soon as you hit the kitchen door is locked.
It's locked.
Yes.
Yes. I'm going to watch the front door. As he leaves, I'm going to watch him leave and see where he goes. Does he look back?
What kind of door is it?
He walks, and he said he's gonna wait out front. He walks off and just walks down the road a bit farther than you thought he should have.
We should leave.
I agree. This doesn't sound right.
Sharna just looks at you and just goes, "Sorry, the coin was too good."
What?
The coin.
Are you in
It says in
danger as
Orcish,
well?
though, to you.
Oh,
What?
Sorry, it says to Orcish to you. And then she just stands up and just says, "Good luck, friends," and just walks out the front door as well.
before she
Wait,
leaves,
she says that to all of us.
Yeah, she's attempting to. She's not left yet.
I cast minor illusion and hide the door handle.
Hide
How
the
many?
door
How many?
handle.
Wait, hold on. How many people are in the bar right now?
Just
Just us.
you and Sharna.
Okay. As she says that, and how fast is she getting up?
Leisurely pace. Stands
Leisurely
up
pace?
and starts walking.
I-
She's maybe a step or
s-
foot away.
I follow immediately right behind her, and I follow immediately right behind her, and I'm like, what do you mean by that in Orcish to her? I'm just yelling at her.
Doesn't respond. Just
What
keeps
do
walking.
you mean by that?
Just keeps walking. If anyone wants to stop her, you can.
I
Otherwise,
draw-
she's
I
walking to
draw-
the
want
door.
to say
yeah.
something to her as go.
I draw my bow, and I literally clock an arrow in, and I'm just like, speak now or die.
She
all
doesn't.
in Orcish.
She stops walking and she doesn't say anything. You now hear the front door open. You see a figure.
I've been at the door
Yeah,
looking,
yeah.
so okay.
You have
Yeah.
been. The front door opens. There's no one there yet. As soon as the door opens, the figure appears as if a veil has been lifted. At the front door.
As I came back from the kitchen, I tell everyone that the front door is, the back door is locked.
I yell at everybody. I say to her in Orcish first, and I go, traitor! And then literally move back, and I'm like, get ready! And then yell at everybody to get ready.
Time for another fight.
Is she still trying to go past us?
She is standing still. The man who walks in the front door and just says, "There will be no need for that, friends. Please have a seat. Listen to my what I have to offer to you. I mean you no harm, of course."
What is this, another ghost?
You do notice that he's wearing the garbs of the order.
Yeah, I figured.
Please, there need not be any
Is
violence.
she continuing out the door?
She's standing
She
and
stays
waiting for him to drop his bow. She doesn't look threatened. She's just waiting.
Before she goes out the door, that version of me is holding an action for her to, if she does walk out the door, there was something I would say.
Okay, to do something. Gotcha.
Yes.
I say to her in Orcish again, normal tone. I'm like, what are you doing?
I'm doing what it takes to survive. You would do the same.
What is this?
No response again. Just says that.
I look at him. What you said in Orcish, right?
They're talking
So
in
I'm speaking
Orcish.
to her. Do you want to ask what? Okay.
No.
Uh,
I just, it's obvious. So I may say as I come through and see the guy, I just say it seems we have stepped into a trap.
I say to the guy in front of her, ahead of her. How many are out there?
You would see this as the cloak is lifted. There's a good 3 more outside if you want to place those.
What are they?
They seem to be robed figures of the order.
As to be expected, anyone from the order cannot be trusted.
As I said, all I am asking this is that you sit and listen to what I have to say.
Talk.
Will
What is
you,
this, a bargain?
if you would put down the weapon, we can talk regally.
I say to her one last time. I'm just like, orcs wouldn't do this to each other. I may not be part of your clan, but I know I wouldn't betray my people.
She looks at you and she says, blood or not, you are not my people. You are not from Vol'Antia. It is apparent.
I'm half your people.
You know nothing about us.
I like kind of draw my bow down and like kind of just disregard her completely, focusing on.
Okay.
As this is all going on, I'm going to step back and just kind of sit my elbows against the bar.
Okay. Is everyone wanting to sit down at a table then? Are we letting everyone in and are we being calm and collected about this? What is going on?
I'm getting.
Well, I'm going to listen.
I listen, but I put my bow away and I have a dagger at my hand that he can't see. I sit like at a table, like or sit at a chair, just like ready to jump. But I have a dagger on my thigh, ready, drawn and ready.
I'm ready to fight because I already don't trust Yoda. So
Yeah.
Of course not.
I'm like
That's like your number one enemy.
I'm ready to summon my Drake, and I'm just have my dagger right there, and I'm just like staring at him. Like this isn't gonna end well.
I have one request if this could happen.
Sure. Request.
So the door has opened.
Yes.
And he is standing in the doorway.
Yes.
Is it possible that my echo can be actually behind the doorway, so that he doesn't see the echo?
I was actually imagining the door swinging open that way, so that's fine. Sure, if he wants to stay on the other side of the door, that's totally fine with me. They don't notice the echo then as they walk in. If you want to let it disappear or stay there or
I'm
hide,
probably
you
gonna have
can.
him stay up, but I'm waiting to see what she does too.
Okay.
So
Sharna is going to leave as soon as everything happens here.
Okay, and I'll say the thing when that happens.
Gotcha.
So I'm gonna, as he puts his bow down, I'm gonna just say, it was a pleasure, Shauna. I understand. And I look at the guy and I say, you may speak, but leave your friends outside.
I'm sorry then. No, they are coming in with me.
As I said, they cannot be trusted. Am I speaking nonsense?
I go over to.
They will stay by the door. Does that suit you well?
I
then?
go over to Telka. I back up into him, so I'm like kind of slowly backing up into him.
Yes.
And as I don't know if anyone's talking to the Order right now, but I talk to him, whisper to him. I go, "What do you know about them? Anything? Any elements? What weaknesses do they have?"
You would notice that mostly they're mostly casters, mostly things like clerics and wizards, sometimes sorcerers. Very heavy spellcasters. The people in the upper orders are extremely talented and they are very calm, but they are also very feared. If they snap, you're gone. It's sort of the cool tempered until you reach the boiling point, in which case, zap, you're dead. Is if they're especially one of the members of the higher order. So if you want to explain that to him, of course, you would hear the same thing.
So like he's kind of explaining it to me like just quicker.
If you wish
So
us,
nothing. Great.
if you wish us no ill will and come in to speak, why must you need your backup?
Well, in case you try anything against me, of course. Even though I may be adept at protecting myself, they do watch over me. And it's only fair if there are so many of you that I can have a couple of my own with me. Once again, as I said, they will stay within eyesight of me, but they will not be threatening. They will just be here, watching.
I hope you keep your word.
Of course, we always keep our word.
Well, I think this deserves a drink. I make my way around the bar.
The bartender is gone now. He's kind of
That's fine.
slipped
I
out the back door
Oh,
when
I
no
didn't
one's
see
looking.
him.
It's kind of cool.
I'm guessing he's the one who locked it on the way.
It's kind of cool. It's like a little bit of a Hateful Eight kind of Western type.
It is
thing going on
absolutely
here,
like Hateful
me,
Eight.
Me and
So,
me and
let's
Telka
place-
are just sitting at the seats, just like
Let's
like,
place the three of them just inside the door.
Real quickly,
And
I'm
Sharna's
guessing
gonna go
that she
through.
exits before
Yes.
the three come in.
And so what happened as soon as she's exiting?
So the last thing, as he's fading away, like, because I'm guessing he's probably not going to look back. I'll take that chance.
No, probably
He's
not.
going to step up to her before they come in the door, and as he's fading away, he says, I hope when you realize that you've backed the wrong horse, that you'll reconsider joining us. And that fades away.
Okay. You see her reaction. She almost looks like she wants to say something and then kind of holds her tongue and then kind of looks down to her feet as she progresses through the rest of the door. I can have that last dice then as she leaves.
And I will also take that die.
Yes, the green dice, and then also you can give him back his echo.
Yeah, my echo has faded.
This table's almost too big.
Nonsense, movie fans.
Okay. So what table are we all kind of clustered around? I think there's a big table there, small tables, whatever else. Place the member of the order there.
Figure a larger table.
Yeah, you can place the member of the order there. You can all sort of sit there, and the other three will just kind of sit there as well.
I will sit on the most windowed, close seat.
He'll follow you. He doesn't mind. He'll take a window seat.
I mean,
Are you
I'm
staying?
staying,
Okay, I'm
'cause
staying with
I
you.
want
I'm
larger
staying
table,
with you.
larger
Me and
table.
Telka are kind of like at the bar, just like
Larger
looking
table?
at them,
Yeah.
just like, we're fine here.
Yeah.
Don't
I
touch
wanna get
us.
closer than that. I don't
No.
need
anybody
to be
else want to
close
sit
to
with
them.
him?
Okay, you can see that well
I could
enough
just
on the
see
battle
us
cam, I
like
think.
gauging our weapons right now. We're just like looking at them, just like, no, we know what this is.
As he sits down at the table, he says, "So, which one of you is in charge here?"
There is no one in charge. We work as a team.
Oh, I see. Usually one likes to speak more than others, though. Do you have one of those?
Trying to get all of us to shut up is probably more of the issue.
I see.
I agree.
Can we hear from where they're at?
It's pretty quiet in here. I would say mostly you could hear.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna. I don't
And
think you
I'm
even need a
not
roll for
trying to keep
perception.
it where they wouldn't be able to hear.
They're
I
not
kind
whispering.
of speak up a little bit and I go, if it's anyone, it's the one you're talking to right there, Valir.
Oh, but he actually seems the quietest amongst you. How curious. So, Valir.
You are sitting with both of us, are you not? Isn't that?
I'm speaking to, of course, both of you. I'm very sorry. I do not mean to hurt any feelings.
Then speak.
Simply, I have one question to ask. What made you attempt at Thomason's life? Do not provide for you in the order and protect those who need it?
No, that is exactly the issue. They do not protect those who need it. They
But-
take.
But we do. We do protect those who need it. What do you mean we take?
The donations that were placed out for your champion, was said with the most disdain I can muster.
Of course.
Your champion, leave that town poor. You are not helping them, you are hurting them.
I see. Is that what they told you in Karsten?
That is both what has been said and what we witnessed.
Well, it's all politics, really. You see, those aren't really donations as much as they are attacks. They bring the crops from there to Mornheim to other people who need it. We do not have any fields in Mornheim we can sow, so we take from Karsten of what they can provide for us. They don't pay any taxes. They only pay us in food.
But you are taking more than they have for themselves. You are leaving them unprepared for the weather, for the time, for until the next harvest. Your concern seems to be more with your own kind than what happens to the people in that town.
I see. Well, many people are afraid to stand up to the order, so I give you that. You've told me the truth, and I respect that. I will bring this up to my leader and let them know that maybe we are taking too much. We've taken the same amount every year, and we've never heard anyone complain. The mayor seems completely to comply with our demands.
From what
The mayor
we've
is
seen,
scared of you.
Fear is a powerful tool, and you've used it for far too long.
Do you want to come up to the table? Feel free.
Yeah, you can say it
Sure,
across. You can say it from across, or you can walk up.
more direct knowledge.
Yeah,
I feel
you have a
You can say
lot more.
you can say it
at
from
this
across the room
table.
if you want to.
I'll
too.
sit across the room.
Okay.
I want
right
to see.
here.
I want to see everything. It's like your heroes, your so-called champions, are quite corrupt. I've seen nothing but the damage that they've caused to these people, among others.
We are not from that town. He is.
Should I move you up here?
Oh, I see. Yes, Telka. Yes, we know of you, Telka. You and your ne'er-do-wells. You think you are so secretive in your little alleyway in the city in Carson. We know very well about you and your hatred for us. Tell me, is there anything I can do to sway you to our side? Can I provide gold to your city or anything else that would ease your suffering?
Well, if you're offering to give me gold, why don't you just give that gold to the people?
Sure. How much would you like me to give?
All of it.
All of our gold.
All of it.
If we gave all of our gold, then how will we protect the people who don't know how to protect themselves?
Save that for them. Perhaps there could be a new structure or something that can be done, but
Even somewhat reasonable if you are going to tax them as such, then also reimburse them if it is more than they are able to give you.
I see, yes. It seems that you are all good people who love the common folk, if that's what I'm collecting from all this.
Very much.
So,
And you
yes.
seem to know about us. You seem to be investigating us.
Do
But
you
what about
love
you?
the common folk?
I do love the common folk.
Insight.
Wow.
Immediate. You're getting ready to roll.
Insight.
What is it?
That is 17 plus.
Oh, is that a 19
I
plus?
just would
19.
love to see a
19.
I would love to see a
You-
presidential debate in like Dungeons and Dragons.
I feel like this is what it's
Do you have
become.
those
This is what this has
emails? No, I
become.
don't. Insight. All right.
You know that he kind of says it, but like with a little bit of a backhand, where you know he also looks kind of down at them, and he's like, they don't know what they need. I know what they need. You get like a little bit of sense of like, I am smarter and I am better than them, and yes, I care for them and I want to take care of them, but they are just lesser people. That is mostly kind of what you get from the way he says and presents himself.
From what I can see, the Order uses fear to control. What is the purpose of such an order?
Our order can be best described as a sort of necessary good. We do what is necessary, and we do it for the good, but sometimes that requires sacrifice.
And
Necessary for
No, no.
whom?
For the greater good, for the most of the people.
And what do you mean of sacrifice?
If only a few people were to die of starvation and it would save a whole city, would you sacrifice the whole city, or would you sacrifice just a couple farmers? It's these hard decisions that we need to make, and I do know that there is a moral high ground to take here. I did come here for a purpose besides just what is being said here, though. You see, the ordained one, the one who was the masked figure protecting Thomason that day when you attacked, you've caught his eye. He actually respects you and would like to speak with you, and that is why I'm here.
So he sent you as a messenger.
Yes, I am his right-hand man, so to speak. I came here upon his behalf. He would like to meet with you in Monheim, and if it is Thomason you seek, he will grant you an audience with Thomason as well, regarding, of course, the fact that you do not try to kill him this time.
What does a champion need guards for?
Well, it's impossible to beat everyone at everything all the time. We have to protect him, especially from assassins and whatever he cannot see himself.
Do you think us simple assassins?
Well, I've come to find that you at least have brains, and that is what I have been sent here for, is to sort of, well, test you, to see exactly who you are and what you are after.
So what are you looking for? Mercenaries?
No, we do not hire mercenaries in the Order. We would only have you if you want to be a part of our organization and you agree with us. If you do not, we can simply go our ways.
What do we get in return?
You can help the common people like you want to do.
Actions speak louder than words.
I look at Nelius. I'm just like, you think it's only for the common people? There has to be a reward as well.
There are two things I would note from this conversation. One, you propose the concept of what sacrifice is good, yet you seem to not include yourself in that sacrifice, as someone who is really interested in good would include themselves. And you have a hero that, as a warrior, I can look in the eyes of and know that he is no warrior. These are the problems that you face when you try to spin this story of you trying to protect people.
So your solution is to just kill us?
That was the opportunity that presented itself then. We need at least a removal of your influence from that town.
Your attack on Thomason seemed premeditated. It also seemed very malicious and sort of, well, for lack of a better word, maybe personal. We've had attacks before. This one felt different. What made you attack Thomason that day?
What if we were to tell you? In good faith, of course.
Of course.
That Thomason is not the champion. If you say you are for the survival of the people in this world, what if I were to tell you that what you are doing is only bringing destruction to this world, then what?
That decision would not be up to me, but the Ordained One. He is the leader of the Order, and that is something you could absolutely ask him in person.
Then perhaps we should offer him an audience.
Of
But
course.
if you knew that what you were doing was bringing the world to an end, would you run towards it or run away from it? Would you continue the path you are on, or would you change your path?
Heiko, there's a problem with your question. The answer is not one can be trusted in either direction. If he is one who is trying to deceive us, he'll give us the answer we want to hear. And if he is yet just unaware of the situation, then we can't know that that answer is true.
I wish
There
to
is no
hear.
answer he could give that we would be able to accept.
I believe I might have an answer that may sort of help out a little bit. Hypothetically, of course, if the world was going to end and we would be a part of it, if that is something that Suni wishes and we believe that that is what would be the greater good, then of course we would go by her wishes.
Blind faith.
Of course. We listen to the Ordained One, and the Ordained One speaks to our deity directly for us.
Who is your deity?
He simply goes by the Ordained One, the one who wears the silver mask.
What gods does he believe in?
We all follow Suni. She is a god of beauty and love, but she knows sometimes things that need to be done require sacrifice.
Who
So
defined
blood
for
of
you?
innocence.
I'm sorry?
So the blood of innocence.
If the blood of innocence of the few is versus the blood of innocence of the greater, then yes, the blood of innocence.
Any blood is not worth any of this.
Sometimes you cannot avoid bloodshed.
Yes, but again, you do not include yourself in the potential for losing that blood.
I
You
believe
only
that
include the peasants.
I will
if
say
I was to
this.
sacrifice myself and someone was to take my place, I do not know if they could do what I do.
I
I
will
know
say
that I can do
this.
it.
My problem is not the sacrifice of the little for the greater. My problem is the darkness that you sow to create light. That is fallacy.
Look, darkness or light, they need us for something. Why don't we just answer their call and see what happens?
I
one-
think we should just take their offer and we should go so we can speak to this.
I wish to see.
So
one.
enough talk, let's go!
I have one last question.
Sure.
Just who decided and who informed you of who the champions would be?
The one who decides who the champions are is the Ordained One.
That's what I feared.
Now, if we will continue, you will follow me, and we will all go to Mornheim together. Just me. My followers will not come. Call it maybe an act of blind faith, if you will. If you promise not to strike me down, I will follow with you to Mornheim and make sure that you stay safe.
What will we get from striking you down? If you look at us and you realize that we are for good.
Well, since you made an attempt at Thomas's life without knowing why, I wouldn't see why I would question why you would make an attempt at my life without knowing why. As I said, it is an act of blind faith. And I do believe you. You seem as if you mean well, so I will trust that.
That is fine.
Can you give us the night to think about it? Come back tomorrow.
No, sorry.
There's no reason
This
for
must-
us to stay any longer.
Either
However,
we go and
Neelius,
find
let's just go.
answers, or we stay and we don't learn
Let's just
anything.
do it. Let's just do it. What else do we have?
However, if you do not mind stepping out and let me speak with my party, I think there are some things we need to discuss. Like we said, none of us lead. We all work together.
If that is what you require, sure. Although you should know that every exit is being covered currently by the Order. We have a couple people on each door, and we see every window, so there is no
I wouldn't
escape.
have it any other way.
Of course, I will wait outside. He steps up and he leaves, and the other members also step outside.
All right, Hugo, what are we doing?
Well, I believe Neelius has something crawling in his mind.
Look, I don't trust them, all right?
Who does?
Right. Why would they make such threats? They've had people all around the exits of the tavern.
Yes, because we're intimidating, and they know that we could be champions and warriors and people of great.
I hardly think they're that threatened.
Then why are they here?
Perhaps we are a thorn in their side.
Right.
I believe we've made a closer attempt at their champion than anyone else has.
Exactly. And they want us to be mercenaries for them. They want us on a quest. They want us on something because we got that close.
Or they simply just want to know who we are and what we know.
Of
They,
what?
They know us.
They already-
They know me.
Exactly.
They know of the ne'er-do-wells.
But they do not know who else we have spoken to.
Then we
and
don't
what-
tell them. We don't tell
Yes.
them
What
everything.
exactly?
We don't have to. Look, we do what we do. We get a reward out of it. We save the people. Are you happy?
This is simply reconnaissance.
Oh my God, go bless something.
You mentioned that they're looking for mercenaries, and it is worse than that. They're not. They're looking for people who will do it out of a faith, out of a support of their cause. There is no prize because they want us on their side.
Okay, then we be on their side, but we know that we work together. Maybe we can get an in with them, and maybe we can work against them. Look, we play nice, and then we go against them later.
Who assigned us champions in Oh, you may not know this.
What?
The other you
Champ-
is aware of who assigned us as champions
What do you-
in the last world, the last time, in the last wherever we were.
Okay, just pretend I'm that other Digo. What exactly do you mean?
The one who assigned us as champions did so that it would undermine the world. We are here to stop the champions so that they do not undermine the world. If the one who is their ordained one is the one who assigned the champions, then he is Vol'Antia.
Either way, there is no way to get any closer to our target unless we walk in. If he is willing to walk us in, so be it.
I slam my fist on the table. I'm just like, right! You learn from your mistakes. We all learn from our mistakes. Let's join them, get what we can, get this man the right amount of payment and the right things for his people, and we all walk away with something. And we become champions in the process, if you want.
So we become the very thing that we're fighting against.
Well,
The problem is, if they give him what
Sure.
he wants, then they're squeezing somewhere else to do it.
but what if we can be... What I'm saying is, what if we pretend that we are with them, and at the right moment, we betray them?
At this point, they may already see that coming because they know everything about me. They probably know more about you than they're letting on.
At this point, rather than saying
No,
that
they
we'll
don't know
join
much
them,
about me.
at this point, rather than saying we'll join them, we can just say we'll go for the audience.
Yes.
We don't need to commit. We don't need to make any promise of our joining their side. At this point, we can just
Absolutely.
make the statement of we'll meet with him. Because as they are stating, supposedly we'd be able to walk away if we disagree, which case we will find
Yes.
how much they do not keep their promises.
We are simply walking into a parlay.
Just be
Fine,
wary and ready for the combat when it comes.
Ah! That's the best part.
The member of the order walks back in the door, the same one who was speaking to you before. Have we come upon an agreement then? The ordained one does not like to wait.
I look at Nelius.
Valir?
I grab two flasks from behind the bar, or flagons actually, I guess, full of the strongest stuff that I can find.
Mm-hmm.
I just put them in my satchel.
Well, it seems we are all in agreement.
Well then, off we go. Is that you sent you a text message?
No, it's in Discord.
Oh, in Discord, yeah.
Also, are they still in the tavern?
I believe everyone's going to be leaving the tavern. I don't know if
Okay.
I understand
I-
your message exactly.
I kind of mentioned to the party, but is the order out of the tavern?
Just let me know who. Because, I'm sorry?
Is the order out of the tavern? Can we all still talk to each other in private?
The member of the order is going to stay with you the whole time. The main one there, the one with the staff. He's going to stay with you. The other ones are going to leave.
Never mind. Okay, I was gonna.
At this point, he's going to be just with you.
Great. Okay, I was gonna discuss something with the team, but never mind.
So, I believe we only have so much day left. We're burning it as we speak. Shall we get on the road towards Mornheim?
Yes, let's go.
Absolutely.
Onward then.
So,
Okay.
what should we be calling you?
You can simply call me brother. When we join the order, we simply lose our names and go by brother or sister.
I have to call you brother?
Yes?
It sounds a bit cultish.
Well, what better way to support the general public than to be their family?
Well, brother, what can you tell me of the Mist Woods?
The Mist Woods outside of Hausfeld, there was sort of mist that would fall on the night and children would go missing.
Yes.
Yes, we have inspected the forest and didn't find anything, so...
Well, there was more to that. There was something horrific going on there. We were able to cleanse it and found one body. Do you by any chance know the name Susie?
No, I do not know of the name Susie.
I think if you look into the first child that went missing, you would find that her name was Susie.
She was a human girl.
I see.
Can
This
I
might be
roll?
something that the Ordained would know as well. I would hold on to that information for when you were just
Actually,
speaking.
yes, Telka may know. Is there any chance for a roll for Telka?
Well, we-
I want to roll.
history, to see if you know.
Yeah.
Sure. Are you just looking for who Susie is and whatnot?
Well,
What are you trying to discern?
well,
before you
sorry.
roll?
Insight into him, into like when they mentioned Susie.
Okay. So to see if he's telling the truth or not,
Yeah.
basically. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. So roll insight for that and see.
Yes, 19, bro. Oh,
He's telling the truth from all you know, from all you can discern. He seems like he does not know who the Susie person is. If you wanted to, you could roll for history and see if you've heard tales of Susie or anything, since you are a local.
that's verse 1. That's 16 in general.
16? Not so much. Pretty common name. Don't really know exactly the tale of what Susie would be.
Well, reluctantly, brother. If you can look into it, it would be a great pleasure.
Of
Mine
course.
if-
So you are currently on the road. I know you have sent me a message, GW, so you can send me that message back.
Yeah.
I think I pretty much follow what you're saying. Okay, then that's probably fine.
Let's see. I would like to roll for perception.
On what exactly?
I just would like to see if we are being tracked or followed.
Okay, sure, yeah. Roll for perception, see if anyone's following the trail.
Okay. That would be a 23.
Ooh. No, he seems like he was true to his word. It seems he is just with you alone, and the other members of the order have actually not followed. It seems the other members of the order probably went back to their monastery, which was close to Hausfeld.
Okay.
Kind of. Do I notice this as well?
If you want to roll perception, you can. But otherwise, if you want to tell him, you could as well. It doesn't seem unless you're really trying to search for it, you don't actually see any sort of trails or anything.
Come on.
I think
I rolled
if
pretty
anyone
high,
is
yeah,
if
so-
anyone's thinking about it, they don't see that they're being followed.
So
If you want to
I
roll for it,
say
you
to
can.
him,
But we already know.
I kind of say to him, yelling at him, "You must trust us a lot, since you don't have your guards around."
Well, I believe that I am asking a lot of you, and of course, by putting my life on the line, maybe I can earn some trust for the order as well. Like I said, blind faith.
So,
Sounds
where are you
good,
from,
brother.
I myself am from Mornheim, actually. And you are currently now on the road going northern, towards what you see as the mountain peaks in the distance. I am from Mornheim. I lived my whole life there. Joined the monastery at a young age. I was orphaned, did not have a family, was poor, hungry. They brought me in, and I tried to give back to the community the best I could. Worked my way up through just hard work and learning as much about the deity Sunni and our culture as I possibly could.
And all that to get a name called brother.
Yes, actually.
Mm.
And it's the greatest decision of my life.
Oh, good for you.
I'm just gonna roll. I guess that's insight, right? I
Yeah.
just want to see if he
I would say
feel the truth of it.
we've already rolled inside enough. I'm gonna say he seems truthful. I'm just gonna say most rolls are gonna be the same of what you already rolled, and it
So he is
seems
a
what he's
good-
being.
He's
a
not
good person.
misleading us.
He's
Yes.
not misleading
I don't
us.
want to keep rolling for perception
This
insight
guy
over and over
sounds
again.
good.
It seems like everything's
Yeah.
chill.
But do you feel humbled by having the name brother.
I did feel like I lost something when I lost my name, if that is what you mean. I felt like I was losing a piece of myself, but then I realized that piece of myself, well, that was just selfishness, really. I mean, I'm sure there's still selfishness in all of us. It's what we need to survive. No, I don't miss my name. I'm totally fine with being called brother now.
I see. Do you not believe in individuality?
That is a tough question, actually. Being one of faith, talking about things like free will, of course, we can get into such a deep discussion. But I do believe that people have their choices to make, and I do believe it affects the whole world as a whole. So we are kind of part of both at the same time, really.
But if the order is set to protect the world from its, or to protect the people from their choices, how are they different from animals?
Well, that's quite philosophical indeed, I guess. Maybe we are no different than animals.
I see. Well, thank you, brother.
Would you like to know anything about these sort of tests that are going to be going on? The road I'm taking you through is not exactly the straightest path to Mornheim. It is one that has been sort of pre-planned out as a walk that we take when we join the Order, sort of testing people's mental strength, wisdom, all that kind of stuff.
Wait, a part of your indoctrination?
We're joining your order?
You are not joining our order. This is a simple test that our pilgrims go through before they are
I already
ordained.
worship a god. I'm not going to worship another one.
You don't have to leave. You don't have to leave your deity, of course. This is for us to test who you are as people.
They are putting us through their tests in the idea of making sure that we are of the same metal as their own members.
Exactly, yes.
It is not to make us a member. It is to make sure that we are of the same quality, strength, wisdom.
I will not be able to answer during the tests. If you have any questions now, use the time to ask. Otherwise, when we get into it, you may not be able to get anything out of me.
How difficult
tests-
are these tests?
Some, very few, have died during these tests. We do go up into the highest peaks of the mountains.
Is it always obvious that we are being tested, or are there some that are more elusive?
Well, I guess that's up to how astute you are in discerning a test from another.
And,
I will not call out to you when a test is being made, if that is what you're asking.
and are these tests singular, or are they grouped?
Sort of singular, I guess. There is more than one, and they do happen along the
I'll
way.
rephrase. So my real question is, are they against the individual, or are they as our group?
Well, seeing as you are a group, I don't see any sort of foul play in doing it together. I'll get the same answer through most of you. If some of you disagree, then I will see the disagreements as well.
How many of them are there?
I cannot answer that.
Will you at least let us know when you are done testing us?
No.
That would be part of the test.
This is boring.
As you're trekking through, this is probably over the course of maybe a couple hours. You're getting closer to the mountains. You do notice that the air is starting to thin a little bit and it's starting to get chillier as you're climbing up this mountain. The trees are starting to go from sort of some broadleaves to more of like spruces, and you know that you are climbing in
I'm like
altitude.
stretching a little bit, and I'm just like,
Fresh air.
finally, in higher elevation.
You do sort of climb up this windy path, and pretty soon there is a split in the paths. And he stands at the crossroads waiting for someone to proceed. You see one of the paths going off into rocky cliff face and the other one going off into a thick forest. A couple steps into both of them and the path just disappears. Which path do you take?
Well, I don't think we should split up. That would be ill-advised, especially even if he is here guiding us to this set of trials. I think we should stick together.
Well, if we are headed towards Mornheim, do you not know the direction?
I don't. I've never.
Does one seem to be more in the direction that we were to head to Mornheim?
it's kind of like a Y split from where you are, and since they're winding, it's not clear. You could roll for survival or nature if you wanted to try and discern some stuff such
I
as
can
that.
actually roll
Shouldn't
for.
our
Just
ranger?
tell
I
me,
can roll for
tell me
nature
what
on
you're
that,
rolling
yeah.
for, and then I'll tell you what
Because
to
my
roll.
favorite. Oh, I have
That's
a
a 7.
favorite environment. I'm in my favorite environment right now.
What, forest?
Yes.
Nice.
No.
Oh,
Wait, is it
mountains?
forest or mountains?
This is considered mountains.
Mine's mountains.
Okay, then yeah, mountains.
Nature. Let me check something. Ooh. Okay.
Let me know what you're rolling for before you roll, and that way I can let you determine.
Would it be
Very good.
insight or perception?
Let me know what you're trying to figure out, and then I'll let you
I'm
know
trying
what
to
you're
figure
rolling
out
for.
which
Yeah.
one would lead thinking.
You're trying to figure out which one leads to Mornheim, which one goes straighter path,
yeah,
basically.
which one would like technically lead to more?
It'd be
like,
more
by
survival,
tracks in
probably?
the road or by like
Survival,
yeah.
more like.
Survival, yeah, because I'm trying to see if there's like more tracks than
Yeah.
the other, like what would lead.
Roll for survival then.
Survival.
Yeah.
I just rolled for survival.
But what are you trying to discern?
Nice.
Before you roll, you just have to let me know what you're trying to figure
Oh, I
out
see.
as your character. Yeah.
I see. So I'm just trying to glean more information on each path. To
Okay.
See which one. To see if there's anything. If there are any traps or anything.
Okay.
leading
Which one's
there.
easier to travel, basically?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
What'd you get for your survival on that?
22.
22. Looking at the two paths, you think that the forest would probably be better than the rocky, sort of more barren side.
I'm always more comfortable in the forest.
I got 23.
As am I.
Okay.
I'm sorry, 22.
As far as what's the more straight path, you think that
Like I looked-
the more straight path may be the rocky side.
Okay.
Although they're talking about the forest part already and talking about how they'd be more
Yeah.
comfortable in the
I
forest.
crouch-
I am a forest elf, so I think the forest will definitely be.
My
Question
favorite
is-
environment is mountains.
My favorite environment is darkness. So
Here's the issue.
That's kind of like mountains.
The question becomes, is part of the test, do we take the path we are most comfortable on, or the path that challenges us? That could be part of the test.
So that's where we split up.
And
No.
the man known as brother is simply watching you. This all going on.
I'm not suggesting we split up, but we do need to make a decision of, do we go with what is easy, or do we go with what is hard? I believe
Well-
that is the true of the chess.
Well,
seems there's
clan
not
leader,
much-
why don't you make the choice for us?
It seems there is not
I'm
much.
not asked for a leadership role.
Well, you kind of are being the leader right now.
you pushed him
Offering
into that role.
suggestions,
He's
not-
kind of like a leader. He's kind of like a father figure type person. What?
Can we all just take a vote? I think that would be the most democratic way.
And
I
the
just-
vote is, do we go comfort or do we go difficult?
What's
Well-
democratic?
Well,
Why not just flip a coin?
I think.
I like that.
Well, my vote is that we take the harder route. Perhaps that is what may appease them.
If it is
more.
testing our metal, I agree.
but we cannot decide which one is harder or which one is not.
The mountain one is harder.
Which one would we feel more comfortable on is a sample of which would be harder.
The forest is
He may
quite
feel more
comfortable.
comfortable in the
To me as
mountains. We may feel more comfortable in.
Yes,
in,
but we have
in the
more that
forest.
find comfort in the forest.
Well,
We are elves, for God's sake.
Yeah, I noticed that. So, we're taking the forest. That's the easy route.
No, we were saying, should we take the easy or should we take the difficult? Is the
Oh,
question.
make a decision.
I'm asking you for your vote on that.
I'll take the forest route. I would like to take the mountain route. As I've seen the ground already, it looks like there are more
Let me
tracks.
ask the question again. Would you take the easy or would you take the difficult? That is what I'm asking, not forest or mountain. Easy or difficult?
Difficult.
I'm the same either way. Yes, it's difficult, sure.
Difficult.
All right.
Difficult. That is for saying. Then, and based on what everybody is saying, more of us feel that the forest would be safer. Therefore, the mountain is the path we should choose.
So, since we are taking someone, brother, what are you able to handle the? I suppose we say mountainous. Are you able to handle the mountainous terrain?
Oh yes, anyone who has been ordained had done the pilgrimage is protected by Sunni during all these tests, so I will not even feel the cold.
Wait, we're protected by another god?
No, I will be. You, however, will you will face the harsh environment.
That's fine. Bahamut's got me.
In my studies, have I come across,
You could
or
roll
in
for
that book that I had taken?
You could roll for religion and or history. Religion would be probably more accurate, so I would say religion.
say one path or the other.
12.
The path you take is the right path.
You would recognize from the book you read that there was talk of Sunni in the book, and you recognize the banner that they wear sort of represents the symbol of Sunni, but from what you remember from where you came from in Faerun, it's a different symbol.
I'm conflicted.
It was a sort of
conflicted.
their symbol here is sort of a flaming, swirling flame. It's different from what Sunni's symbol is supposed to be, but you couldn't exactly put any finger on what it's supposed to be.
So what exactly is, I'm sorry, brother, but what exactly is the domain that your god or goddess or looks after?
Well, I believe those sort of questions, as far as, well, outside of the test, can be made after the test. I do not think if it pertains to the test, I can really answer any questions. Even if it pertains to the quest, actually, I probably can't answer any questions. So I believe my tongue is stopped as of now.
Perhaps we should just begin our journey.
Mountain road.
So most entertaining this seems to be you taking the more difficult path. Interesting.
Yes.
As you progress up the mountain, everybody make a group survival check for me.
Oh, Jesus. It's a rock slide, we all die.
And yes, DW.
16.
16.
17.
17.
17.
17. We're doing
22.
good. 22.
Ew.
You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Yeah. Wait. If I roll that, what would be my plus?
Goodbye.
Your plus should be on your character sheet under your survival. Unless you're specialized in it, it's just your it's intellect or wisdom for survival. I think it's wisdom.
Plus
wisdom.
Wisdom.
9.
Wisdom. So it'd be a 9. Okay. You find Telka is not used to these mountains, more sea legs than mountain legs. And he is falling quite a bit behind. Not only that, but I don't know how many provisions you guys have, but you definitely feel like it is time to have some provisions, some food and whatnot. You are, of course, with your survival checks, able to create a fire well enough to be able to maybe cook some, but the wind is just whipping with snow flurries everywhere, and the chill is biting down to the bone currently. Telka, you are definitely starting to feel sort of sluggish as the cold is sort of seeping into you.
Due to me, my background being raised on...
You're probably less affected than most of them, because you have
Okay.
all the thick winter gear on and everything, yeah.
Can I try to hunt for them? Like, try to go hunt for something there?
I
Any
was-
sort of animals? Any
Yeah, I would say you get small game with what you had, probably like a like probably just one single rabbit. I
Okay,
mean, it
so
is
I come
pretty
back,
barren. Yeah.
We're not near a cave or anything. We're just out in the open.
Currently, no. It's almost a canyon, as if you're being sort of streamlined somewhere at this point. It was flat, and then as you kept going, I would say it's become more
wind is
canyon-esque,
barreling
and it's just
through-
exactly it's just
yeah.
with wind flurries coming through and
Come
everything.
back with the rabbit, and I'm just kind of smiling. I'm like, reminds me of my days as a boy, being up on the mountains and finding what we can. And yeah, I try to like keep the fire kindling so I can at least cook the rabbit. I'm like skinning it right now.
You can barely skin the rabbit by the time the fire seems to go out, and it seems as though in this barren wasteland it's hard to find wood or anything else. Roll for perception for me real quick, or survival, either way,
Okay.
if you want to roll either one.
Survival.
Yeah.
I was just about to do something. 15.
15. You do notice at the end of this crevice, and you've also seen structures like this in the rocks before, you assume that at the end of this sort of canyon or something that you're in right now, there may be more shelter. And you feel in your gut that if you keep pushing forward, you may find better grounds to sit down and relieve yourselves.
I tell everybody, I'm just like, look, we're not going to get better here. I think I might have seen something over there that might help us. Better shelter. Come on, we need to push through.
Let's hope so.
He's pushing.
Come on, Drow.
You push.
You push. As you push through, you see the canyon sort of comes to stop, and there's just almost what seems to be a solid rock in front of you stopping it. But in the small corner, you see a gap that leads through into what you can only assume is a cave.
Perfect.
And
Let's
I'm
take it.
putting the cave actually up on the screen right now. You approach the cave, and there's little inlets that kind of come in and out, almost like as in they're reaching out in a almost spiral kind of formation as well. In the middle, as soon as you walk in, the first thing you notice is there's actually a stone pillar directly in front of you, along with one statue facing that pillar as well. We're gonna go ahead and stop there on break before we explore the caverns, and we'll be back soon, everybody. So stay tuned.
15 minutes, guys. See you soon.
15. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you had a wonderful break. I know I did. And welcome back to the Cave of Wonders. No, that's copywritten, isn't it? Oh, just a regular cave, a very cold cave. Our party has entered this cave. You see that the wind is still howling through, and there's flurries of snow just flying into this cave as well as the party runs in. Or do we want to get straight to it? Do we have anything else to talk about before we jump right back into the game?
No.
I think we're good? Amazon Prime sponsorship? Yeah, we might as well mention it again.
Amazon Prime.
So if you have Amazon Prime, of course, you can you are allowed one free subscription a month. You can use that sort of like a voucher. We would absolutely love if you use that voucher to subscribe to us. Once again, if you do use that to subscribe, you have to kind of resubscribe every month. So make sure to recheck and re-hit that subscribe button. Commercial-free experience. That's the best part. Like, I swear, I'll watch it like on one of my other accounts, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I have to watch commercials, just to like watch replays and stuff. Anyways, commercial-free is the best part of that for sure. And if you have Amazon Prime, it's free included. So, yeah, makes it way better for the viewing experience. All right, what is everybody doing as they enter the cave here? Everyone is very cold at this point,
Freezing my balls.
except for, of course, Brother. I guess we can just call him Brother. It's kind of weird, but
I think I'm doing all right.
he seems fine. Oh, you're still chilled.
Oh,
You're chilled.
oh,
you
I'm
like
chilled,
it though.
I'm
You're
chilled.
like
I'm fine with
it's
it. I'm
like
used
you know
to it.
like ice bath, like
I'm just
athletes
like-
as they
I'm just
jump
like-
in like
Yeah.
it's cold, but it's like that good cold.
It's a good feeling.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
kind of how you're feeling right now.
I don't know if I mentioned it, but my monastery is up in the mountains. Just
You're used to it. I don't think you're really
used to it.
clothed for the cold currently, but you're used to the cold. Yeah. So the numbness is biting at you. You're definitely feeling very cold.
I go over to I slowly move into the cave, and I
You can also move if
actually,
you want to on the
Before
map.
we make a fire, I go and observe the stone just to give like kind of a secure check of the cave. And
You see a pedestal in front of you, and there are 5 objects on this pedestal. You see what appears to be a gemstone. You see a doll. You see what appears to just be a simple rope. You also see a mask, almost like a masquerade sort of mask. And you see scales as like weighing scales.
brother, is this another one of your tests?
And also, sorry, directly to the right of that, there's also a statue of a large figure, probably about 12 feet tall or so, very large, armored, great helm, and a giant sword. He's pointing the sword down towards the ground, but he has it almost like flat to the ground. So it's not like he's striking; it's more like he's pointing. As you answer, as you ask,
towards
Parallel to the
He's-
ground.
it's sort of like perpendicular, yeah, parallel to the ground. Sorry, yeah, that's the flat one. So he's holding it flat to the ground. And on the pedestal, you do see a placard as well, if you want to read it. When you do ask him that, he doesn't answer. He simply waits.
I will step up to the placard and look at it.
On the placard, written in common, you read the words, "Only the worthy will kneel and give thanks in my name."
Well, I don't think I'm setting up a fire here. We should think this is a puzzle.
As you read those words out loud, the entrance to the cave just closes, and everything just turns to darkness.
Great.
There seems to be only one pinprick of light coming from the far side of the cave, but it's not enough to really light it. You can see, mostly if you have dark vision, it's very, very dim, faint lighting, but so you can somewhat see, maybe not from wall to wall, but you can see enough,
I can see enough.
yes, to get by. Reading may be difficult, even in this sort of dimly lit area, even with dark vision.
All right,
But you, of course, have torches and stuff, so.
we do.
Even if you have spell casting.
Yeah. I take out. Is there any wood available in the cave?
Would you
Is there anything?
mind if I step in? I take out my my globe, my drift globe,
Mm-hmm.
and I activate it.
Oh, it's
Okay.
Look at that.
I have this. This might actually work.
Use you first.
No, that's not going to work.
I see.
Control Z that. I don't want green smoke. I think it's going to be... It's okay.
Wow.
So you light up an orb, okay? I think it's going to be all just different flames. Yeah, that's not quite right either. I was just trying to like put a light in there for reference, but
Well, it
whatever.
was
We'll
still
say
pretty
that's
cool. I'm
there's
just
so
saying.
many
Light,
effects. I
light.
love it. Yeah. I mean, I also have campfires and stuff like that too, but whatever. Anyways.
How about Dungeon Alchemist, folks?
Oh yeah, set the battle cam here. I know, right? It's so cool that you can just like edit on the fly with Dungeon Alchemist. That's what we're using here. If anyone is curious, the battle map we're using is Dungeon Alchemist, and it's so cool because you can basically have all these different presets you can click from, and they're all made by artists that make these assets, and you can just kind of drop them in as you play. So if you want to make a campfire, boom, I can just throw a campfire in there, it'll light up the scene and everything. And eventually, maybe we'll get some like 3D Skyrim like play and stuff too. So that's better. Okay, cool. Sorry, yeah. Yeah, for instance, if I want to put like
That's nice. I like that.
campfire. There we go. So like for instance, boom, campfire, click it, and if you want to make a campfire, I can throw it in there.
Nice.
And it lights up the scene and everything. Look at that. Look how cool.
Can I roll a perception check so I can see if there's anything besides the any clues about the statue like pointing wherever it's pointing?
I would have you instead make a. If you want to make a perception check on that, I will allow it. But otherwise, I would say to identify the statue, I would say it'd be more of a religion check. So if you want to see what the statue's doing, you can roll perception. If you want to determine more about the statue, it would be religion.
Okay, I'll roll religion. Then.
Okay.
15 plus.
Oh, that's not so shabby.
I guess that would be my wisdom.
Yes.
I forget what I asked for.
Religion.
Religion? That'd be intellect, actually.
Oh,
Which it's
okay.
weird because it should be wisdom in my opinion, but whatever.
That would be 16.
16? That's still, I would say that's good enough. You would recognize this as being a statue of Tempest. He is a deity of war. More of a neutral deity.
Did you say Tempest?
Tempest.
Tempest.
Yeah, Tempest. You would recognize it as Tempest. You know that he is a very sort of self-indulged. He loves himself. He also loves. He's a deity of war, and he considers himself to be just like the bee's knees.
Sweet. Can you tell us a little more about the pedestals? You said that there's pedestals, and on
There's-
these pedestals, each one has an object?
There's
or
one
is it-
pedestal that has all the
one-
objects.
one
You can actually
pedestal.
see it on the map there if you can see it a little bit, but right towards
Right
where
here,
everybody
yeah.
is. Yeah.
Okay.
I see.
And there's a little inlets every so direction. Each little inlet has, it seems like, different things going on.
I see.
So,
You said inlets
Mhm.
on the pedestal?
should we?
Or
No, just the cave itself.
Okay, you're talking
Yeah.
about like a different side.
Yeah. Sorry,
inlets
my bad.
around-
Okay.
Yeah.
So should we camp here, or should we try to solve this?
I mean, we're kind of locked in, so.
You might as well stay warm if you need.
Well, if anyone can make a fire happen, I'm not going to use my Drake just for that.
Well, I can manage that one. We've got enough of something to keep burning.
Hey, whoa! We need to gather wood. What are you going to light the fire on?
It's a good question. Ignites his hand.
Just like looking at it. Oh, that's great, genius. How are we just going to keep that fire going? You're just going to keep.
I don't
your
know about
hand-
you, but I'm staying warm.
Oh, great.
Look, if you're gonna get the, if you
I have
can
my
go ahead and
hands up, I'm just
collect a
kinda
bunch of stuff, we'll get this fire
Feeling
going.
the warmth.
Mind if I cook this rabbit on your hand?
Oh, this is just adorable.
Just take
Have
this-
at it.
Take
Now-
the rabbit, I like take 2 knots with it, and then I skewer it, and then basically just like cooking a rabbit slowly on your hand.
This is rather amusing.
I mean, it works.
Notice he didn't even skin it. He just.
I did skin it
He
earlier.
did
I told
skin
you
it,
I
he did
skinned it
skin it.
earlier. I tied it on my
I remember
belt.
when he was skinning it.
Yeah, I said like I skinned it.
All right.
Are there
Um,
are there any remnants of any other passers-by that had come through here before?
Are there
Like
any
bones and cloth or anything like that? Anybody that died here,
Nope,
perhaps?
you don't see any bones or anything
Nothing.
in here. No,
Nothing
it seems
solid.
pretty. It seems pretty. Even though there is snow laid out in here and everything, it doesn't seem like it's. It seems pretty clean.
What about candles near the altar? Anything like that?
No candles.
No candles.
Can we see the ends of the walls where the inlets are? Like where the inlets end?
For the most part, as soon as you get up to them, yeah. I mean, you have dim vision for about 30 feet or so. So as soon as you enter towards the entrance, like little mouths of each of those, you'll be able to see towards the back
Yeah,
of
and I
it.
have the drift globe on right now. So
And the drift globe will shed more light. So with the drift globe and dark vision, you'd probably be able to see from wall to wall at this point.
So
Idea.
I think I would like to inspect the inlets and start to kind of Go through.
Which one are you walking to first? You can go ahead and move your character.
Go-
Valir, I'll chalk for Valir, I guess.
I know
He'll
Nelius-
look-
I'm with Nelius and I'm cooking the rabbit still with him, so it's kind of like a weird like
He's
skewer business here.
he
Like, I'm
sees
just
the
like-
Valir sees the light trickling in. And he says, "I'll check out this one." And he walks over towards it, and his body just completely disappears as he gets close towards the mouth, and you can actually pull his figurine off the board if you want.
Just gone. Just
Wait, what direction did it go?
wait.
He
where
went
did
straight up north, just straight towards the little fairy flies up there,
and he just disappeared.
and poop, yep, completely disappeared.
We all noticed it.
If you were looking at him, yeah, just out
So-
of existence. Just
So, about this pillar, what is on the pillar? Is what do I see on the pillar?
the pillar had those 5 items that I mentioned before. So it's going to be a sort of gemstone, a doll, there's a gemstone, a doll, and
You said a mask?
a mask, and scales and rope.
Right.
Gemstone, diamonds.
It's like a masquerade mask. It's not like a
Yeah.
spooky mask.
Okay.
Okay, it's a pretty mask. Okay,
You said wait, that's 4 items or 5 items?
5. It should be
Gem,
1,
mask,
2,
doll,
3, 4,
rope.
5.
Yeah,
Gem,
mask,
doll,
rope.
rope,
Oh, scale.
mask, scales.
How much of the rope is there?
Not a whole lot, maybe just a couple feet.
Am I seeing anything? Do I need to roll for anything, or
Where are
can
you
I-
walking and what are you doing?
I'm
And what are you looking
walking
for?
towards the inlets to see if I can see anything on the walls or any.
Which one are you walking directly
inscriptions or-
towards right now?
Right now, I'm walking towards this one.
Towards the right, you see a fallen in, sort of, the rocks have sort of fallen in and caved in that area. It looks, go ahead and roll for perception for me on that one.
Ooh, that was my first bad one, but it's okay. That would be 11.
11. It looks like the rocks have been placed here rather than caved in. That's about all you get from it.
Okay.
Do you think that if you were to get some people together, you could move the rocks? They don't look too heavy. You think that a couple of you could probably take this away if you needed to?
Okay. I'm starting to kind of get the perimeter, so I got what's in there, and as I'm seeing it, I'm letting everyone know. I'm just
Okay.
kind of yelling out to them and be like, "Looks like there's some rocks here that we could lift to move out."
Okay, I'm going to go to...
You
yeah.
could also probably put them on the scales.
The scales are very small, and the rocks are huge. So
Yes.
Oh, they're like
Right.
the scale is like would fit in your hand. Like it's like a scale you measure to
okay.
like for money or something.
At
Oh,
this
so
time,
that's right here, right? So it's covering this area.
You can see the boulders on the map. Yeah, exactly.
I'll leave it to you.
Mm-hmm.
At this time, like cooking the rabbit, is it past that much time with me? Like cooking it, it's enough to be eaten.
Probably not quite yet.
Not quite
Yeah,
yet.
you're working. You got the fire.
I'm
So you're just
focused on
holding
the
it out.
rabbit.
Is what you're doing, and you're
I'm
like
hungry. I'm hungry. I'm
you're holding your
literally-
hand
I
out with the
skewered
fire.
it, I'm just
You're
like I'm
just rolling
cooking.
it.
I'm cooking.
What are you doing, Telka?
I pick up the scale, and I walk over to the statue that's pointing,
Mm-hmm.
and I maybe try to balance the scale on it.
You try to set it on, and a couple times it sort of sits there and it falls off, and you try to. I would say roll for sleight of hand to see if you drop it. It sort of falls off as you keep trying to
19.
play it. Yeah, you set it on, and then it just falls off, but you nimbly grasp it, and you try it a couple times, and you can't quite get it to balance. And it doesn't seem like there's really anywhere on this statue to place. Really, he's not holding out his hand or anything. Everything's weird angles. It seems really off. They can't really give it anything. And it's not on the pedestal or anything. I mean, they are flat on the ground.
Have you tried the blade? Putting the scales on.
No, that's what I mean. I was
In
putting on
front
the
of
blade,
the blade.
and then
The scales have like a base to them, so it's like they
gotcha.
have to like set on something. Yeah.
Okay, when everyone's done, I'm in this inlet right now. So.
Okay. The next inlet there is a smaller, like almost like a pedestal, but almost like a small altar-ish on this one as well. And you see just a single chalice there. It seems like a simple chalice. It's not ornate or anything. And on the little plaque on this pedestal, you read, all your suffering shall be endured."
Shall be what?
All of your suffering shall be rewarded. My bad.
Rewarded.
What is- Oh,
All of your suffering shall be rewarded. That's my dyslexia, reading 2 different lines at the same time.
Well, that sounds about right. Or no, that's only Roy seeing that, right?
Yes, but as I'm
you're reading it
saying
out
this
loud.
stuff, I am reading it out loud and letting you guys know what I'm saying.
Can we hear him from that little window?
Yeah, it's echoing
it's
through the chambers here.
I yelled at him. All suffering is what? I don't know.
Can I roll? I mean, I'm gonna say I would roll perception.
I would say no perception because we've already used
Yeah,
perception
so,
here.
can I roll for religion, I guess. On
Yes,
the,
you could absolutely roll for
on the,
religion.
on the chalice.
Mm-hmm.
See if I can.
Yeah, sure. You can roll for religion. You have not yet.
So that would be 14 for religion.
14? Not quite. You do get a sense this was made for a certain deity. You do not have a name in your mind, but you do sort of collect that this is sort of some sort of like pay penitence, endure, stuff like that. It's not, but from what you know, there's no evil going on here.
Okay.
All the vibes they're good vibes.
That's not a bad thing. That's right.
But there's just, and the chalice, of course, is empty, sitting here on this pedestal.
I have a feeling I know what I need to do with that. However, before we move forward, I do kind of want to get a hint of everything.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna say the rabbit's starting to crisp up.
All right, cool. So I'm just like, I take it off the fire.
I'm not even paying attention. I'm moving forward toward the statue as he's going.
Hungry?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, just one moment. Is there any glint coming from the statue's eyes as I get closer with the flame?
With you, the one that's standing there?
Yes.
Kind of, yeah, actually. The flame seems to be almost like mirroring in the statue. The eyes also seem to have like almost like they're mirroring the flame, and the sword also seemed to catch your attention particularly. You don't know what it is. It's almost like glinting flames back at you.
So is the statue's sword? Is it an actual sword, or is it?
It seems to be made of rock.
Okay.
Yeah. As the flame gets closer and you inspect it, and as you get closer, the eyes and the sword itself seem to almost reflect that flame back at you, as if there's something attuned here to the flame.
As he's looking at that, I go into this inlet over here.
That's where I was.
Oh, you
that's what I was saying.
That's fine.
So
Yeah,
I
you
must be
haven't gone
going
anywhere
right.
yet, so you can go into that one first then. So
Alright.
because you were just finishing up the chicken, and as soon as he walks in, you can walk right behind him. Then I'm gonna say.
I kinda
So you
get
walk.
curious.
You walk into this area to the left here, and you see just a single plant growing out of the ground, and next to it is an empty clay pot. And you read on the clay pot itself is another sort of script written in common. On this one it says, "Life is the most precious gift."
I would like to roll for religion on that one.
Okay, sure. I'm gonna say everyone gets one religion roll
Yeah.
on one thing because there's so much here. So.
Oh, that's rubbish.
Oh no.
8 or 9.
Yeah, you don't get a whole lot from that. And you get the gist that this is also dedicated to a deity, but you don't really know anything about this deity.
Okay.
I'm gonna take my dagger
Mm-hmm.
and just cut my hand.
Okay.
Without risk, there's no reward, and I drip some blood into the chalice.
As you drip blood into the chalice, you step back, and your hand almost immediately heals in front of you. And the chalice and the pedestal disappear, and in its place is actually, you can put this here if you want to, it doesn't matter, just as a placeholder. A statue appears in front of you. The statue looks as if it's reaching out both hands, clasped together. Maybe it's begging or pleading, or maybe the statue figure looks like a hymn. Maybe he is praying. The face of the statue seems to be crying out. You don't know if it's in pain or sorrow. And it's kneeling on the ground, looking upwards, and sort of has its hands sort of clasped like this.
Is it some sort of deity?
You would only assume so. You already rolled your religion on it, so I'm going to use that same religion score, and I'm going to say you don't recognize exactly which deity this is. You get the same vibes of, you get sort of penance being paid and all that kind of stuff here.
Got it.
With that deity.
I want to put that plant into the bowl.
Which bowl?
bowl
The
that
clay
was
pot?
next to it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's a clay pot. It's not like a bowl.
Sorry, clay pot.
I don't think it would actually fit. You might be able to get the roots into it if you pulled it out. It's the plant. I mean, it's a very small like clay, like almost like a
yeah,
almost like a vase, I guess you say, yeah. And the plant is like a pretty decently sized plant. You could try if you wanted to. You'd have to pull it out of the ground, of course.
Above table, it did say, it's giving life. Are you technically destroying it by cutting off the roots?
Yeah, I don't want to cut any
That's what I'm
roots. I was gonna like.
Well, it doesn't have
cut
to
the
be
roots,
above
but-
table. If you see him going for it, you could say that in character too.
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah,
So are you going for it?
Is there
I-
anything
I-
in
I
the
don't-
pot?
No, it's empty.
empty pot.
It's empty pot. I thought the plant was small enough to put in the pot, but
You probably could if you try to skinny it up, like wring it out, maybe
Oh,
get it in there.
no,
but
nah.
it's probably just too big to fit inside the pot.
Gotcha. I don't want to try it then.
Yeah.
Well, are you? Did you tell us what you saw? Have you
No,
been
no, no.
echoing to us?
So, hey everyone, I found a sort of vase and a plant. The vase says life is most precious. I don't know what that means. I thought that this plant I had may have done something, but it doesn't. So, that's
Have
what I
you-
found in my corner.
Have you tried giving it any water?
There's no water I have.
So I guess I can come to him, and I'll just kind of give a little bow, and I'll head to him, and I'll take a little bit of my water from my skin bag.
Water skin. How do you know?
still has it. He
Water
still has
skin. Why can't we call it a water skin every time?
It is a water skin.
It is a water skin.
It's not a skin bag.
It's a skin bag.
You take some water from it and you pour it just where?
I give a little life to the plant.
Okay. As you pour it onto the plant, once again the same thing happens. It disappears, and within where this plant was is a different statue. Yeah, you see a statue of a man. On his chest is a symbol. It seems like half of a sun on a straight horizontal line, as if it's maybe like a sunset or a sunrise. He holds one of his hand to his side, as if maybe he is cradling something, and he looks kind of not arrogant, but he looks dignified, and he sort of looks regal in these nice kind of clothes that he wears. His other hand is sort of at his side, and one hand is sort of football carriage, doing something like that.
Oh, okay. Well, it seems we've solved that one.
All right.
Wait,
so
look. His hand looks like he's missing something. Right?
Perhaps a chalice.
What about the items that we saw over there are going to these statues?
Maybe.
I walk over. There's a chalice that's still there at that other statue, right?
The chalice that he poured his blood into is gone.
Yeah.
There's no
that's-
more chalice.
So my
Has there
bowl
been-
disappeared too, yeah?
What's that?
My bowl disappeared too, yeah?
The
The
vase and the plant both disappeared.
Oh, shoot.
Okay.
Okay.
Has
I'm gonna
has-
ask anybody who can help me maybe move some rocks while
Okay.
he talks.
And
Has there been any changes to the statue in the front, the 12-foot tall one?
no, you do. It's very intriguing what you saw, but no other changes.
Who is anybody can help me?
I can help you.
Sure.
I'm gonna say actually, if you're inspecting, go ahead and roll for perception for me real quick, and I'll see if I can give you a little hint of something.
Okay.
If not, and yeah, you can start moving the rocks. It just takes maybe a couple minutes for you to move all
Say
the rocks
perception.
there. Yes.
I'm right here.
Oh, sorry.
Can't move.
9.
9. Something at the corner catches your eye, but you can't quite catch what it was. It seemed like as if it was on the wall.
Something behind me?
No, just right next to the statue, almost right next to it. As you see that flicker on the wall, off to the side of it, you see what seems to be like a wooden board leaning against the wall on the far side. If you can see where the mouse is, it's like right around here. Can you see where that is?
Okay.
Is it a what?
Is it look? I go to investigate. I go to check it out. Is it a shelf?
It seems to be flat, perpendicular to the ground. Or sorry, no, perpendicular to the ground, up and down. And it almost looks like it's a mirror, but there's no actual reflective surface on it. Instead, you see words as well in common. These words say, "Beauty should not be hidden from this world." And then it says, "Wouldn't you agree if the roles were reversed?"
What items again were at the statue? I'm sorry.
There was 5 items. There was
Gem, mask, doll, rope, and
And a
scale.
scales. Yeah.
It's either the mask or the scales.
I would say a mask because
Hiding the beauty.
hiding beauty is
Yeah.
a mask. So perhaps if we put the mask. Oh
The mask on the doll.
no, the mask on the statue.
Yeah.
I don't know. Clearly, I'm the beautiful one here. So, what if I tried it?
No, speaking in character.
Putting the mask on yourself?
Wait.
Yeah. Is that what you're doing? Putting the mask on yourself?
Oh
Wait,
my
oh
god.
God. What?
Why?
You put the mask on yourself and you're waiting for something to happen. Nothing happens,
yeah, it
unfortunately.
goes-
Are you looking towards anything at all?
The mirror, the reflective surface that we said was potentially a mirror.
As you put the mask on and you look towards the mirror almost has like a glow to it, like a sort of aura, but there's no reflection still. And you can, as you're looking at the mask, you see that it almost looks like the aura extends outside of the board and kind of almost goes like through the wall or something. Like it seems like it just covers the whole face of the wall,
What does the doll look like?
like a children's doll.
Is he shining his fire at that surface right now that was on the wall?
I don't know if you're shining your. I don't know if you have still your produce or you have your prestidigitation or whatever. Probably not anymore.
No, I had
Yeah.
to let it.
You'd have to continue to keep casting over and over
So
again.
Roy's the only
Basically.
one that's producing.
So no, that's no more flame anymore.
I could see in dark vision, so
Yeah.
I'm looking.
And I still have the globe up.
Yeah, but you have the drift globe. Yeah.
Yeah. What is going on here?
So as you clear the rubble, you see in this next area, you see a gravestone and you see a grave here, and it seems like you see also a shovel leaning against the wall, and you see a pile of dirt next to the grave. When looking at the gravestone, looking at the grave, the pile of dirt on the grave itself, it seems like more dirt could go into that pile. It seems like it wasn't quite finished being buried. And what you see on the gravestone just says, "Respect is not only for the living."
Well, the first thing I do is I take the shovel and I finish out the grave, and then I give a little prayer of peace and respect in front of the stone.
Okay. When you do that, once again, everything disappears, and you see another statue in front of you. You see a square-jawed man with piercing eyes and long, wild, sort of wispy hair. He seems to be wearing chainmail and leather armor, but that is covered up by almost like intricate robes over it. Maybe battle priest or something, you don't quite know. He holds out both of his hands in front of him calmly as he looks forward with those piercing eyes, and everything about him seems sort of symmetrical and steady and just sort of all put together. And he has both his hands clasped like this, one under the other in front of him.
So, like how?
Sort of like one under the other,
Oh,
directly
okay.
in front of him like this, and everything about him just seems very, like if you were to cut it in half, they'd be mirror images of each other.
So I relay everything to everyone else, and I ask, what about Valir? Has he found anything? Valir?
He disappeared.
You didn't see that?
What?
He disappeared.
Blair!
Well, he was walking forward, and all of a sudden he just
He
disappeared.
vanished in
You
front
didn't
of
say
me.
anything.
I thought it was insane.
I thought we all saw
I
it.
think-
Where did he go?
He
I
was
don't know.
walking over there. He was walking past the statue, and he just.
I
So
walk in this inlet.
I think I think I know what we're supposed to do. So every time we do one of these challenges, a new statue appears, and so I think we should use one of the 5 items for each of the areas. Like one is a mask, one is a doll, one is a piece of rope, one is a scale. I think we should try to mix and match to see which one sticks on which statue.
Are you holding the drift globe, or did you leave it in the center?
It
light
follows.
everywhere.
It's following me.
It's following you?
Yeah.
As soon as you enter this area, these sort of like little fireflies and everything in this area disappear, and in front of you, you see another statue as well. You didn't get to read the placard before it happened, of what it had told you.
What statue do I see?
You see a statue here. It's a slender woman wearing robes and having long, silky sort of hair. Though there is no color to the statue, it somehow feels like paler than the others. It seems to be in the darkest corner of the room, but also seems to almost be emitting a light of its own.
So
Yeah,
to
that's it.
answer, if how many statues do we have with this one?
And she also does have a hand out as well, as if she just wants to hold something, just one hand.
What have you got back there?
It's a statue of a female holding out her hands. She seems pale or sad. How old is the female?
She's relatively like mid-20s or something like that. You can't quite tell. She looks, young and
Either Jew
young
or
woman.
doll.
I think perhaps we should put a doll in her hand and see what happens.
All right, let's figure out what we need where.
I go and grab the doll.
Okay,
You
sure.
guys grab doll. I go to grab. Oh shoot! What was this one over here? This one far over here? Sorry.
To the left.
Yes.
Bottom left is going to be the plant. So that was going to be the man who had his hand almost like holding the football or something.
Okay. That one's tough. Okay, so we got doll. Let's do this one's Jewel. Or no. Oh wait, no.
That could be scale.
That's Jewel. That the man could be Jewel. He said he's like holding it like this. Like how is he holding like a football?
The man.
Yeah.
He's holding it almost like clasped at his side.
And then how
Most of the objects seem to be relatively the same size, so you could probably place any of these objects in any of them.
I go get the Jewel, and I go to attempt to put it on the man.
Okay.
There.
You set it down. No sign of anything yet.
What about? Okay, so I go to the. You were over here. For the doll.
He was. The doll was below one,
Okay.
and then the one up there was the woman.
Okay.
The one
No,
up there
no,
is the
this
man
one-
who
this-
looks like he's
what's this
praying or
one?
something. That's the one man who almost looks like he's praying or crying or
Right,
something.
Okay. So.
Sorry, if you want, you can place other ones here. So now we know
So-
where all the statues are.
I'm
Yeah.
going to put the. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Place
So
all those in each room.
Yeah.
These are each a
So-
statue.
Right here.
right there. One's here.
Maybe different dice would be
Yeah.
more.
And then one over here. Okay, so I put the doll in the.
One more.
You're over there.
the
in that
fairies.
cave. Right.
So well, no, I'm here. Well,
What?
this is where the
That's
doll
the
is.
man with the jewel.
lady is. right?
That's who you put the jewel in.
Yeah.
just
where's
now.
the
man,
lady?
Jewel. The doll.
The lady
right
is
there
one
with
up.
The wisps. The
Yep.
the blue.
Here.
You can
Up there,
you can
up
number
there,
them with a
right there.
dice if you
Okay.
want to make that easier.
So I'm gonna go over here with
Okay.
Jewel. Sorry, I can't reach that
1,
far.
2.
There you go.
I'm gonna put
Number
the
them.
scale on this one.
Okay. What you got?
Okay.
The mask.
Are you gonna put items anywhere, Josh?
The mask should go on the man in the center.
Are you still? What are you doing over here with the mirror and everything else? It does seem like if you look through the mask and look everywhere else in the room, the only place you're getting the aura from is this mirror.
Is the mirror?
It seems like these two
With
are
the mask
somehow
on.
connected. With the mask on, as soon as you take it off, it's just nothing.
But the mirror is also facing the statue.
No, the mirror's facing the wall.
Oh, it's not
It's
facing
flat to the wall.
The
What if you
statue
put-
with the.
Can it see
You can see it on the map there. It's really hard to see, but it's just flat against the wall of
Oh,
the
I see.
cavern.
What if you put the mask on the God of War statue's still there, right?
He's right next to him, yeah.
That's what I said.
Right in front. He's
what I
two
said.
spaces directly to the left of it on
If
the
I
map
look
there.
back, at the statue, is there any noticeable difference with the mask on?
No, that statue doesn't seem to be interacting with this mask.
So the only difference I got was so far was the flame.
The only difference was the flame with that statue. Yeah.
So was there
And-
any reaction to the doll?
You put the doll in and nothing yet. You put the scales in. As you put the scales in, are you doing the flame right now, or what are you doing? What exactly are you doing right now? What are you looking for?
I was getting ready to. I was going to light it again.
Okay. As you're trying to look through the mask, you're looking at the wall. You see that shimmer. You look back at the statue, nothing. As you light the flame again, as you put the scales in, you notice the flame gets almost like more intense. And on the walls, you start to see like almost like fire, like going into the wall and almost igniting what seems to be script as it fades away.
I'd launch it.
It's almost like a mirror reflection. It's not like it's actually
Oh.
creating these. It's not like it's actually creating the flames itself. It's just like almost mirroring the flame back at you.
like a projection.
Like it was almost like a metallic surface or something. It's almost like a magical reflection. I don't know how we'd actually explain that, but
Did any of you see this?
not unless they're actually looking for it, which I'm assuming none of them are.
No.
I mean, you can tell us this.
Yes, I know. Look at the ceiling.
Oh, he is telling me.
Is it
hold
is it
up.
spreading throughout the cave?
The effect has gone at this point. By the time you see a look at the ceiling,
Oh.
It's
the
just
flicker
as I
happened
put
and
the-
is gone.
Just as I put the scale.
Yes, but it also had something to do with the flames.
I would say blast the scale, and in front of.
What if we need to weigh the
Blast
scale?
the scale.
No, like.
Just start throwing fire everywhere. That'll solve everything.
Light everything on fire.
Oh my god! All right, so we have 5 statues now.
Mm-hmm. No, you 5 total statues.
I'm gonna grab the rope.
Although the one with the sword doesn't seem like it has a place to hold anything.
Huh?
I said the one with the sword doesn't seem like it has a place to hold anything.
I'm gonna grab. Oh,
He's not holding out his... All the other ones seem to be asking for something or holding out their hands or something like that. The one with the sword seems to be the only one that has a different posture entirely.
what if I take the rope to the one at the end over there, the one that has his hand down?
Hand down on the side. He is currently holding a gem.
Oh.
You want to swap those?
Yes.
Okay, you swap them.
Tell me
Still,
a reason why.
still nothing. I mean, he's right in front of you as he does
said
it.
Nothing happened. That's why.
Yeah, you do it. Still,
Right.
no response. Still.
So maybe we have to switch these.
Yes.
What if I switch? What if I switch me and Telka's items?
Sure.
All right,
Yeah.
there we go.
Switch.
Is that the
Boom.
doll?
So you putting the doll in which one?
I'm putting the doll in mine. The guy.
The football guy?
Number 2.
Okay, you put the doll in. Is anyone looking for any signs of anything at all as you do this?
I'm looking for a sign.
Is the mirror adjustable? Can I move it?
As you go to adjust it, you notice that it's one of those. You know, they have like that. They can turn this way.
Yeah.
It has that sort of hinge on it.
So if I aim the mirror a bit toward one of the other statues.
As you turn it, you see the other side is actually a mirror. You're looking at the back side of the mirror currently.
So I
As you
it
flip the
around.
mirror, you see your own reflection, and a wall actually opens up behind. A wall opens up into another cavern off to the side there.
Oh.
Can I see it in the reflection, or it actually has happened?
It actually just happened. As soon as
Okay.
you flip the mirror around and looked at yourself in the
Ah,
mirror,
we got an opening!
rocks just sort of crumble away.
Go out to the center.
I make my way toward the other opening
Just
to investigate.
just as we put the doll there, we're looking for any signs of any changes. Does anything change?
For the doll?
Yeah.
Roll for perception for me if you like. Just right in the middle there of the new cavern I opened. Yep, exactly.
Okay.
Perfect. You go into the next area here, and I'll read that perception roll as soon as I
Sure,
read
sure,
the
sure, sure.
statue. In the next area here, you see a statue of another woman. She wears her stone dress as if it was made of silk. Everything about her seems to sway as if there was a breeze in the air. Her beauty is hard to look away from, and she has a single hand near her face that seems to be accentuating her beauty, something like this, like you know how models do.
The mask.
Well, no one has seen
No,
it except
sorry,
for him
yeah,
yet, but
sorry,
no, you're
sorry,
good.
sorry.
But you're good. But no, but
trying
and that's and that's it. That's just all that's in the room is just that single statue.
Yeah. If he wants to relay it to us. then
Yeah,
we
yeah.
can-
Well, I did tell you there was something in the room. I've got another statue here. It's a beautiful woman. She's got her hand to her side. She seems to want to hold something as well. I'm going to try something. And I take the mask off,
Mhm.
and I place it in her hand.
Okay. Are you going to try and look for any signs of anything at the same time?
Yeah, if there's any changes or anything situation.
The only change you saw before was like the wall sort of igniting with that script.
I'm still holding the flame. It's
Okay.
the only source of
So
light I've
as you have this flame out, then you do see that and that sort of flame intensifies, and you put which one again? You put the child,
I put we put the doll in
the doll.
guy's hand.
As soon as they put the doll in, you also saw it increase even more. Like it just keeps getting brighter and brighter as the flames shoot across
with the doll.
with the doll.
So the doll was right.
You not only see script, but you see signs of like almost like tapestries and like history of calligraphy, but like in the shapes of like people and wars and like other
Take a
things
big
like
glance
that.
of any
Like
of this, but
They're like hieroglyphics, exactly. It's not like
do I have a chance to
Can I-
see any of it actually?
it's like it sort of sears into your vision for a little bit, and you notice that in this room itself, you see a lot of things that have to do with like what you can only get to be like gestures and like mirrors and faces and masks and parties and things of that sort of nature. Roll religion check for me real quick here.
All of us?
No, just him.
It's an 8.
I will give you advantage on that one, just because you may not get a better one, but that's okay. You don't need to. Not better.
Worse.
Not better.
Oh man.
Jeez.
Something comes back to that book that you had, but you cannot remember what it was. If you still have the book in your possession, you could try to look for the pages, but
Oh, I do have the book.
you do. So you could try to scurry through the pages and see if you recognize anything of the scripts that you found. While you're doing that, what is everybody else doing?
Well, we have what we have left is the gem and the rope. So we have 2 statues left.
Mm-hmm.
What if we put the gem in the that statue before number 3?
Sure.
Which one? The woman or the man?
The 3. 3 is the man.
That would be the man. Sorry, I can't. So yeah, 1, 2, 3.
And while he's doing that, we're putting the rope in the other.
Where are you putting the gemstone? He seems to be holding his hand. He's not holding it out. He's holding it in his hands almost as if he's praying.
Praying.
Once again, it doesn't seem like there's really room to place anything. Like you could like place it in his lap or something if you wanted to, but or on his.
I take the rope and put it around his wrists.
Ah. As you do that, as you tie the rope around, once again the walls, and you catch glimpses in this room specifically. You catch glimpses of people. It seems to be a lot of pain and suffering, but a lot of like comfort. You sense comfort as well. It's all about, it seems, enduring the trials.
Well, the gem is left with 1 statue.
Yeah.
You're in front of it.
Yep. Let's try it out.
Okay.
And so I
You
put
place the gemstone in, and the same thing again. This time, all the hieroglyphics, they stay lit this time. Nothing disappears. In this room, you see signs of, it seems to be a lot of like lunar cycles on the wall, like the moon and the different shapes of the moon. A lot of it seems to be sort of starry night sort of themed. In the room with the man holding the child, you see a lot of themes of like sunrise, sun, and all that kind of stuff. New beginnings, life, children being born and playing.
Wow.
The only thing left is the singular statue, which he found first. And that statue, his flame has actually been lit ablaze. And you remember the words that were inscribed upon it, which says, "Only the worthy will kneel and give thanks in my name."
All right.
I'll walk over and kneel.
Okay?
I will walk over and bow and put my hands together and thank him for the challenge.
So is this it, brother?
So you kneel in front of the statue and you say what now exactly?
I my version of kneeling, essentially.
Okay.
I bow.
I kneel and say, "Thank you, Tempest."
As you say the word tempest, the flame goes out and the whole, all the statues everywhere seem to just completely disappear in front of your eyes. Just everything disappears. The runes disappear and everything else. And you catch a glimpse of light coming from the opposite side of the cave now, as the cave seemed to have almost switched, or maybe the walls have themselves been carved out as it leads out directly into the other area.
I yell out, "Valir!"
No response.
Great. Well, we solved it. Should we camp here for the night?
I feel that we should push forward.
Yes.
Carlos is the one who's not cold anymore.
I'm still cold. I just want to get out of here.
All right, let's move forward then.
All right. As soon as you exit the other side of the cavern, you see a sort of stairwell that leads down. As you come to the very bottom steps of the stairwell, you see the brother, and he sort of looks a little bit scared. As you look forward, you see what seems to be a caravan, frozen solid in a sheet of ice, as if the ice is sort of rippling off of it, just sort of icicles going the wrong direction. Instead of up and down, they're horizontal. And the brother looks at you and says, "No, this isn't right. This shouldn't be here. I think we should continue forward very quickly. We should leave this place immediately. This isn't part of the test."
Yeah, right. This is probably part of the test.
What's wrong?
No, these must be people that were on the pilgrimage that were killed. I don't know why they're traveling as so many. Maybe they're part of my order. He starts looking through, and he can't quite see. It seems like most of the figures here are just frozen solid in a thick block of ice, and some have been even shattered, like at the waist down, where all you see is just legs standing. Signs of battle. All of them seem to be maybe trying to have fought something at one point.
Does it look like the battle took place here?
It does. It looks like this is where the battle took place.
What were they fighting?
I don't know. This, like I said, this is not part of the test. We should leave immediately. This is dangerous.
Can I roll a perception check to see maybe it might be a dragon?
You could. I would say.
Hold on.
Roll for. Would that be animal handling? No, that would be.
It would be
Survival?
It would be a nature check, wouldn't it?
Nature. No, it wouldn't be
No,
nature.
It'd be investigation, right?
Yeah, it's if you're though dragon specific.
'Cause it is the
Arcana.
creature.
Yeah, we'll do
Arcana.
Arcana. We'll do Arcana. That seems to be the biggest match.
Is it with him? Okay.
Arcana because that would be the ability that would have frozen
Yeah,
if there were
I'm
dragons.
in
That's not much.
between. That's
Yeah,
like in
exactly.
between,
That's
right?
cocked.
Yeah, it's cocked. No, I'm not gonna do it.
Reroll if it's cocked.
Ooh, 18.
18.
Well, Arcana, my Arcana.
Roll for Arcana.
Okay,
What exactly
18.
are you looking for? Were they frozen by a dragon?
I'm seeing if it's a breath. I'm seeing if they got frozen by breath.
What you see here seems to be what you have seen before from ice breath. Yes, it seems to be the signs of ice breath.
And I look and I'm like feeling how far are the statues away from us?
They're the people. They're not statues. These are frozen
Well,
people. Yeah.
The frozen people.
They are just down the stairs. I mean, maybe 10, 15 feet in front of you.
Okay, so I walk
The flurries
over.
in the air are still very thick, and it's hard to see through this
I
thick.
walk over. Actually,
It's a
before I
flurries.
walk over, I pass Nelius, my rabbit, and I
Mhm.
go, enjoy this. And I go over and I touch.
Not even looking up.
I know, I touched it. Like, it falls on the ground. I'm like touching it, and I'm looking at where the ice is formed and how it's like drifted like towards the direction like it was breathed on them.
You get a chill down your spine, but it's not from the cold.
And I'm like, we need to go now.
What seems to be? Oh,
We need to go now.
All right, let's go.
And I'm kind of just like backing up, but I'm like telling you guys, like I'm just like, do not make sudden movements. Do not run. Just walk slowly.
Should we not wait for Valir?
You can only see also about maybe 20, 30 feet in front of you at
Is
this
there
point.
just wind?
It's just
like a
wind and
blizzard?
flurries and blizzard and
Okay.
yeah. It may not be actually coming from the sky, but it's just
I'm
whipping.
just telling him still. I'm just like, back up.
Your flame's like
slowly.
flickering.
I've got a flame in the book.
Put out the flame right now. And I'm basically just like looking up at the sky and I'm like scanning. Is there anything I hear? Anything I see?
Give me these dice back real quick here.
Oh, buddy!
It's not a good sign.
That's a great sign.
That's an awesome sign.
Nothing. I'm not saying nothing.
He's like nothing.
Place yourselves on the
Wait.
trail here. You can be starting on the bottom side of the frame there.
Back in the trail now.
Start yourself on the very bottom there. Is that squares? Are those squares lined up well enough? You can barely see them. I think I need to zoom in a little more.
Yeah, it's fine. Put us all there. I can't really.
I'm gonna
Sorry,
put
we'll
you.
kinda-
Sorry, I'm gonna
kinda
actually
work with
put
it, sorry.
you. This is like the entrance, and I can scroll it as we go or whatever as you guys walk along.
So, is
should
it
be
evident
flipped,
to
but oh
me
well.
that it is?
Actually, I can flip it, huh?
It's just
There
a
it goes.
breath weapon that hit them, not. But I don't know yet if it could be a dragon.
Sorry, that's probably better. I flipped it so they have more of a length to go on.
Oh, okay.
That you said what about that? You
I just know that it was.
you know it's a breath weapon.
Just
yeah.
a breath weapon. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm under the paranoia that it could be a dragon. I'm just under the
You're under the
assumption.
paranoia, yeah. Shortly down the walk, you see a single, what you can only assume to be a gnome. He's clad in, he has thick enough clothes to where you can't really see his face. Let's put all you guys right there then. Oh no, sorry, put the gnome right there, and then
Right
put
here?
all you guys on this side if you can for me, since I flipped the map so you have more room to work with now.
That's about the best I can reach.
That's okay. I think this map is also longer, so I can continue scrolling. You see a single person walking the snow, and as he sees you, he kind of stops.
Sorry, my bad.
He stops and he speaks out in Draconic, and he says, "Friend."
Wait.
Do you speak
Do you have
Draconic?
Draconic too?
I think so.
Oh God! Wait, what? Oh, we haven't talked yet. No, I hear
I know
the words.
Draconic now.
I hear the words. I hear the words, and I go, "Speak now, dragon. Is that you?"
I am no dragon.
I'm like have my bow like kind of like going down.
Do
I
I
do
look
have
like a
Draconic.
dragon to you?
What?
He pulls down his hood, and you see like dark purple skin.
I can just picture it. I think it's gonna be a dragon. I look down. I'm just like,
Short little gnome, yeah. Do I look like a dragon? I'm a deep gnome.
you a shapeshifter. I'm saying this all in Draconic.
No, I'm not a shapeshifter. I was pulled from my world to this top of this mountain. It seems the gods have a sense of humor. I'm a deep gnome. I come from the Underdark.
I've heard of you. So, did you do this?
No, I did not do this.
What did?
Well, my master did this.
I don't suppose you, neither of you speak, common, yes?
He does. Do you speak common? I say it to you in Draconic.
I do, but common feels vile on my tongue.
We could speak Draconic. I could speak for them.
That works for me.
He says he's delighted to see us.
Oh, that's good.
Well, I mean, I can understand.
So, yeah, and then I kind of look at him and I just go, "What do you mean, your master?
My master,
And who is your master?"
the lord of this mountain, the one who lets people pass. With that, the same guy in the back, brother, he says, "We should leave right now."
Who is your master?
My master is 𝐻𝙗𝙗.
Oh.
With that, you see another person sort of come up behind him as well.
Oh.
Do you know the name 𝐻𝙗𝙗? And you see another figure approaching from behind. This one seems to be wielding two blades. You can't quite get a gist of what species they are.
And then I say to him in Draconic, "Well, I go by the god Bahamut, for I am from the city of Bahamut, from the Drake Wardens that are there, the Guardians. Have you heard of us?"
Bahamut. I've heard of Bahamut, yes.
But, I mean, we both worship the same type of dragon. Can't you understand? We're part of a test, actually, right now.
I would say, if you worship a Bahamut, that we do not worship the same type of dragon. And his voice is getting a lot more scary.
Oh, but in my terms, we always believe in many different types. As long as you believe.
Ego, what are you saying?
in a
He's
dragon.
starting to
It's
look
fun. And then I
upset.
say in common, I got this. Just wait a second.
You see a flame, a light, and another figure behind, and you can make out the silhouette of what you can only seem to be like a tiefling. And she holds in her hand a flame, as if she's getting... You don't know if she's taunting you or if she's getting ready for a fight, but you just notice that she...
Look, friend, we
I'm gonna
worship
lift my
many
hand.
other different gods here. We are just looking to pass. I trust and worship and love your God just as much as you would love mine. That is what we do.
This
As Draconic.
mountain belongs to 𝐻𝙗𝙗, and none may pass unless I say so. But I only say so if 𝐻𝙗𝙗 says so. So if you want, we
By
can
a
wait here for
follower
him.
of Bahamut.
So he's going to guide us through, right?
Yes,
Wait.
he's going to guide us through. Just wait a second.
What type of dragon do you worship?
Are you speaking Draconic right now?
Yes.
I look at you. I'm just like in shock. Just like,
𝐻𝙗𝙗 is the lord of this mountain. His scales are as white as the snow
you
itself.
speak Draconic? You didn't. Why haven't you spoken to me in Draconic?
I didn't know you knew.
Literally yelling at each other in Draconic right
If
now.
you are all worshippers of Bahamut, I'm sure he'd be glad to meet you and
He's
show
not
you.
a worshipper of Bahamut.
I do not worship Bahamut.
Wait, are you a worshipper of Bahamut?
I do not. I just know Draconic because I figured that it would be a good.
Oh, so,
Good-
so it
what?
seems only this one will be feeling the wrath of
No,
𝐻𝙗𝙗.
I did not say that. Listen, I trust in your God as you trust in mine. All Draconic gods.
No, we do not believe in the same god.
I lift
The
my
white
hands up.
dragons
We come in peace.
are part of Tiamat's following, not Bahamut.
Well,
where
there
How
is
do you
always a
feel
time
about
to change.
Tiamat
Let me
if you
finish. Let me
worship
just- I'm
Bahamut?
talking to them. I believe that there always comes a change in life because that is why I left Bahamut.
You life coaching these people now?
On a pilgrimage of change to go possibly worship and see other gods. Maybe I wanted to come and see your God.
Heiko, and you were concerned that they were not going
You
to be
can
useful.
interject right now if
Look at
you
this.
want.
It's wonderful.
Okay, I do not believe in Bahamut.
I'm
do
starting
not
something
believe in
right now.
Any god.
I'm on a
I
pilgrimage.
just-
That's what I'm in right now.
I would like to know how we can pass peacefully.
This one moves a little bit closer, the one on the left there.
This one?
Yeah. He looks at you. He looks towards the people here, and he just says, "Then why don't we get this over with? We both know they're not going to leave this mountain alive." And he pulls out his weapons.
Are they still speaking Draconic as well?
They are still speaking
We
Draconic.
don't need.
Drawing his weapons out.
God, no, stop!
would
Don't! No, I literally look at you. I'm just like, hold on a second.
He,
Let me handle
he draws his
I've got
weapons.
it, I've got my
Look,
mug
you
out.
can talk to them. I can talk to them. Let's try and deal with something here.
Roll for initiative.
Guy, come on!
Before I do, I
Okay.
deactivate my globe and put it away.
gloves.
Okay, yeah, you can of course deactivate the glove.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh my
8.
god, that's rubbish.
Okay.
6.
Okay.
Let me get everything up here real quick. Run this.
I just like how it'd be like a no. Okay, they're fighting.
Because I think you were aggravating them. The more you talk about, I'm like, stop
I
talking.
know, right when they said Tiamat, I know because they do, but like it is a type of like, oh shoot, maybe we could be, enlightened by the same draconic ancestor. No, we're not.
So going down the list here, I'm just gonna go from top to bottom on my list. Heiko, what'd you roll? 18. Telka,
6.
6. Nelius,
20.
20. Nice. Digo,
8.
8.
The true
Okay.
draconic people have low as fuck rolls.
Yes, fine.
No, but as soon as you was talking to them, I'm like, bro.
The first
gonna kill
figure
us.
here, the one with the 2 blades.
Yeah.
How many spaces away? I can't see the spaces, huh? You can barely see if you're looking. 'cause
Barely
I actually
see it.
made them white that you can. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. He's one space too far away from you, but he rushes down.
I look happy
Blades
as
drawn.
I look happy to see him, except for the fact he's got blades drawn. Oh god, no.
So he's just running at us right now.
Just sprinting, blades drawn.
Okay.
I'm just
Let's
like,
see
as
here.
he's doing it, I'm just like, wait. Okay, they're coming for us.
Okay, Nelius, your turn.
He's a happy little guy, isn't he? Oh.
I can just see you like coming up behind me, just being like, blast, hit him.
I pull out my sword and my dagger because I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, so I immediately, oh, this is not going well, and I cast Firebolt at him.
Firebolt at him. Okay.
Yeah.
Roll
here we
to
go.
attack.
Okay.
Where's my?
Here we go.
Ooh, wait a minute, what's that?
Plus your modifier, of course.
Yeah, of course. That
Yes, of course.
It is a 16 to hit.
That is not a hit.
Oh, it's not a hit.
No.
Oh no. Oh, that's bad.
You see the fireball fly directly towards the target, and he has 2 swords, and the fireball just shreds it in 2 pieces as he continues to rush you.
I cast Mage Armor, and that ends my turn.
Can you cast 2? That fireball?
Yeah, I cast it at will.
Cantrip. Yeah, I don't think you can cast 2 in a turn though.
What's Mage Armor?
Is Firebolt considered a spell?
Mage Armor's
It's a spell.
fine,
That's considered a
fine.
spell, right? It's Firebolt. That's considered a spell.
Firebolt.
No, Firebolt's a spell.
It's a
Mage
cantrip,
Armor
so
is
it's
a spell.
Yeah,
as
so
well.
you wouldn't be able to cast a cantrip in the spell unless you had that feature which allows you to do so.
Oh.
Okay, fine. I burned 2 sorcerer points to change it to an
Then you
instant.
could okay. I guess you could probably do that. 2 sorcerer points to
Dang,
yeah.
Okay.
So what are you casting? Mage armor.
Yeah.
Yes. So you'd have mage armor now. Make sure you do the
Just
calculations
so I'm
for me.
no, wait a minute. Just so I'm clear, I can cast it at will.
You can cast it at will. It's not. It doesn't
Right,
use
it's
up a
on my
spell
turn,
slot.
right?
You should have cast it when you woke up this morning.
How long does it last for? An hour or something? 8 hours. Okay. So
I
yeah.
wasn't thinking of fighting.
If you want, I will be a nice DM and allow you just to cast it before because it lasts for
A
8 hours.
retrospect?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say you have it then, because I don't. It's at will. It's not like you're really using a spell slot. I'm just gonna say you have mage armor on.
Okay.
I'm being nice today. I'm
Well, I
feeling nice.
appreciate that.
So then, as your firebolt, anything else as a bonus action or anything at all,
Or
or movement?
What?
Or movement. These are
I
cliffs,
will-
by the way. You can scale them. They would take double movement for every space as you climb.
No, I've got the meat shield in the front. I'm good.
All right.
I'm not a meat.
Then next up,
You are at the moment.
Heiko.
All right. So, let's see. That's 1, 2. That's 2 spaces.
That's 2 spaces to get to him. Yeah.
Okay, so I will take the 2 spaces.
You
And
can change the grid right now. Actually, what is the preset?
roll
Nice.
for attack.
Where the grid is under here. Okay, roll for attack. Sure, go
Yeah,
ahead.
I'm
What is
rolling
your
for
attack
attack.
on that?
Which is 23.
Okay, 23 is going to be a hit. Who are you hitting? The one right in front of you? Yeah, that's a hit.
Guy in front of me. Okay.
Go ahead and roll for that damage.
And I'll roll for that damage. Okay, that's a.
I don't know where the grids on here are.
45d8. Why does my hit dice say 5d8 on this? That's different. I've not seen that before.
What now?
Hit dice 5d8. Oh no, it's
5d8.
No. There's probably some
Whoa, now.
No, it's a d8. It's fine. I know it's fine. Okay,
I don't know where they.
so that would be 8 bludgeoning damage.
8 bludgeoning damage. Nice.
And I will
Make a defense roll for me with disadvantage.
a defense roll with disadvantage.
Yeah, roll twice. Take the lower one.
Okay. So that's 7, right? So that's 17.
Let's see, what is his chance to hit? Nope. That is going to deal 8 damage to you. As you attack, she counterattacks with one of her swords, slices you back. You can get a look at her now. She seems to be elf, as she's close.
Got it. By the way, my
Maybe
it's
even
my
wood
armor-
elf.
It's half my armor class. What is it?
You take -10 of your armor's class. So if you had 14 AC, you'd have 4 for the roll.
So it's half my armor class plus the
Not
the
half your armor class. When you roll for defense, is what you're talking about?
Yeah.
You would just take your AC -10. That's what you're adding to it.
Oh, it's my AC -10,
Yep.
and then adding that to my roll, right?
Yep.
Okay, so.
Yeah, we're doing when we're doing player-facing combat where they roll to defend instead of actually me rolling to attack.
Got you.
Oh, yeah. So no, yeah, that's right.
Okay.
So that's that was right. So okay,
Yeah, so you take 8 points of
damage.
slashing damage.
8 points of slashing damage. Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
That's beautiful. Okay, well I am going to. By the way, yeah. So that's I still.
You still have the rest of your
so,
turn. Yeah, that was just her reaction to her, you
she had a
attacking her.
reaction.
Mhm.
Got it. Okay. Well, I'll use my other one to do a flurry of blows.
Sure. Roll for attack on that one as well. Monk time to punch.
Right. That is, wow, that's 23.
Nice. Roll for damage on that. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to get the grid to look larger on this one.
Okay, so let me roll for damage on that one. That's the correct dice. Okay, so that's another 8 damage.
Okay, nice.
And on that one, I silence her reaction against me. So she cannot counter until my next turn, basically.
Gotcha.
And I'll use my next. I'll use my next flurry and hit her again. That one is going to be. Well, it hits. It's going to be 26.
Well, it hits.
Yeah.
Roll for damage on that one.
Roll for damage on that one, and that's 6 damage.
6 damage.
Six damage. Sweet.
Okay.
So
Anything else on your turn? You can
I
always.
still, yeah, I know, but I still have my the flurry bonus. I will just knock her prone.
Okay, cool.
You mean her heart didn't explode? What kind of monk are you?
Doesn't have exploding heart technique yet.
I don't have exploding heart.
Not yet.
Unfortunately. And then I will go ahead. And
There's the grid. Oh wait. Darn, I can't. I don't know how to change the grid color unless I'm not exporting. Oh well.
so now, I have so that was my bonus attack. I do have an extra attack. So I do have an extra action, I should say. Since I've already used.
Extra attack is what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Basically, what you would do there is, you would use your attack, and as soon as you use your attack, you would use your extra attack right afterwards. You don't do like attack and then bonus action and then attack and then bonus action.
Right.
It's like attack is usually when you take your attack action, you can attack twice.
Right.
So you'd make those two at the same time, basically.
Right. Well, I just used an attack and then a bonus, and then I did my bonus action. Is what I just did.
Yeah, and I think that's okay with flurry of blows. I don't think that's technically how it goes, but that's okay. That's fine.
Right. But now
you
I have
you have
just
one
one
extra
regular
attack.
attack. I can't do a bonus or anything.
Are you
I can't
gonna
do
make
flurry blows. I can
Yeah,
either
you have an
take-
extra attack. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you wanting to use another attack on something?
I'll go ahead and just since she's in front and I can't use another flurry of blows, I'm just gonna go ahead and just use it on her.
Okay, sure. Go ahead and roll one more attack.
So I will roll one last attack. Oh my god, what is happening here? This is that's a nat 20.
Nat 20. Roll double damage dice. So you roll your damage dice twice, and then you add your modifier.
Jeez.
2, 6. So that's 8.
8 plus whatever your damage modifier is.
My damage modifier. Okay, so that's cool. So that's 8 plus 4. That's 12.
Cool. 12 more damage. Nice.
So that's 12 more damage, and she's not prone, correct?
She is prone. Yep.
And now I'll go ahead and take a step back.
Okay. Next up is going to be the sort of tiefling-looking creature in the back there. They are going to... Who's off to the side there? I'm going to have Telika make a defense roll for me.
Fuck a doodle do.
That's not a good sign.
Oh my god, he said his curse word.
9 plus. I guess. What would be my defense? My
Your
plus-
AC minus 10.
So 12 minus 10. So 2.
12 plus 2?
Yeah, 11.
14?
Yep.
Okay. You take 26 points of radiant damage as a bolt of radiant energy just sears through the air blindingly, like searing your retina, and strikes you directly in the chest.
26.
Yep.
Jeez.
Jesus Christ.
That's a lot.
After she strikes you in the chest with that radiant energy, you feel the flurry of wind almost like shift and change direction. More wind blows you in the face as it changes back.
You change the grid in the top right corner.
Is it on the room thing?
Yeah.
No, it's not that one.
Do you know the
Oh,
setting?
no.
You pull up resume, setting, exit.
What's up?
Where you get like resume,
Oh,
setting.
yeah. Settings.
Settings.
Settings. There is grid. There it is. Cool. Thank you. Can pull up the grid now so you guys can actually see the grid.
Oh, that's much better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was like, I know
yeah.
how to do it on export. I don't remember how to do it on. Okay, so now you guys can see it. So
That's
now
right,
I'm gonna
so now
turn. I'm gonna
I'm
turn the
not-
map here. Put yourself on grids. Is that why? Do I need to zoom in or out?
I can put everybody on the grid.
I think it
it's
needs to go
much
in a
better.
little bit more. There we go.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everyone can see the grid now. I mean, I'm gonna do a little bit more for the viewers at home because still can't quite see on the monitor
Now
there.
everyone's on the grid.
Boom shakalaka.
There we go.
Nice. Everyone can see the grid now. Oops, don't click on things. Sweet. All right. Yeah. So the wind was blowing. It seemed like it was down the canyon, and at one point the wind almost like seemed like to stagnate and kind of swirl, pull back, and then whoosh back forward the way it was.
So is she dead or unconscious?
That one there.
Yeah.
She's prone.
Okay.
Digo, your turn.
Cool. Well, I cast Hunter's Mark on the little guy
Okay.
right here.
Little guy got hunter's mark.
Yep.
Try to remember that. I don't have a marker for that. Oh wait.
Yeah,
If you want to put this on him, you can. Just a little black marker,
that would be
For
cool.
Hunter's Mark?
Thank you.
just so we know. Just put
Question
under
to
or
the
whatever.
end, when someone's prone, you have advantage, right?
Yes.
And that's also that
On
also
attacks.
gets sneak attack.
They will get a sneak attack if they have advantage. Yes.
Yeah.
So automatic sneak attack if they're prone, basically. Range attacks do not work that way though, because range attacks, if you're prone, you actually get disadvantage usually
Right.
because you're prone.
because they're prone.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like technically, if
they're
you're right on
smaller.
top of them, I
They're
think
harder
it
to
works.
Smaller
But
target.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, Digo.
Oof. Okay. Let's see. With the 1d6. Okay. Oh, but I got the archery as well. So 1d6 plus my hit. That is 15.
A 15 to hit. Which one are you going for?
Going for the gnome.
The gnome.
Oh no, sorry, 15. 17. I got a +2 in archery.
That hits. Roll
Yeah,
for damage.
sorry. Yep. Rolling for damage.
And you hunter's mark, so you get to roll additional 1d6.
Yep.
I believe 1 or 2. I don't remember what level.
I have a level 2, so that is 2, I believe.
Does it say 2d6 for it? Okay.
Yes.
Just make sure you're
I'm just making sure. And then also I have my 1d8. Make sure this.
So you cast it at level 2.
Yes.
Do you have level 2 spell slots? Do you?
I do have level 2 spell
Oh,
slots.
okay.
Yeah.
Sweet. You're good then.
Let me see.
I didn't know if you're multi-classing or not or whatever.
Yeah. Let me see. Oh, do I
I
have
can't
a
bring up
D8
your
out
character
here?
sheet on this.
Oh my god, am I blind? Which one's my D8? This one right here, yeah.
D8's like the diamond-looking one.
Gotcha! I was like, wait a sec, they blend in! Okay, that's 3. That is 1d8 plus... Okay, so that's 6.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Then going for 2 here, 5. And 6. So that is, 12 points of damage towards him.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have extra attacks, so I'm going to
You do.
move. Oh, let's see. Yeah, no, I'm going to go at him again. I'm going to strike him again since I'm a ranger.
Poor little man.
12. Oh, shoot. Okay, so 15, 17. Does since I have proficiency with bow and arrows, it's still 17 again, right? I use that +2 again.
Yeah. For every attack, you would gain the same plus to hit. Yeah.
So 17.
Every
again.
attack.
I
yeah.
got a 12 again, so I added
plus
up
2 to hit on
15
that.
and +2, 17.
Yeah, that would hit again.
Shoot.
Yeah, you got the archery for a +2. Yeah.
Yes.
That's on every attack.
Okay, here we go. Let's do this again. 3, 5. Wow, damn, 8. Damn. So that's 11 points of damage.
11 more points. Oof.
Yeah.
Nice. Math is fun. Yeah, 2 arrows just rip through and just it's hard to see what's going on through all this sort of the flurry of blizzard and whatnot, but you see red streaks across the snow and you know you got some good hits on them.
Okay.
Anything else on your turn?
No, I just yell at him. I'm just like, this is what happens when you defy your god. And then, yeah, that's it.
He shouts back and he says, "You'll learn the consequences of defiance soon enough, believe me." Telka, your turn.
I take a potion.
Sure. I do bonus actions as potions rule, so you can use a bonus action for your potion if you like. What potions do you have on you?
Oh, yeah.
Also, I have this is just a regular healing potion with 2 d4s
nice.
if you want to use that one.
Yeah.
Is that what you have, a regular healing potion?
I believe I do. 1 second.
Should be 2d4 plus 2, I believe. If that's the one you have.
My God, I can't find it on my character sheet.
I believe that's what you have.
Okay.
I don't know how many you have, but that should be the type you have. So just roll it out straight out of the bottle if you want. It doesn't matter.
All right.
And the side down is what they are.
3.
3
Yeah.
plus 2, so 5.
Yep.
Just a little mini.
You know, just a little bit.
So that's your bonus action. You still have your action.
All right. So, I want to attack.
Which one? And with what?
I'll attack the prone
Okay, range attack or melee attack?
melee.
Okay, so you can move your character up straight within melee. And what weapon are you? Go ahead and roll to hit with advantage
And he gets
first.
sneak attack.
And you get sneak attack if you hit. Yes. So with advantage, so roll twice and take the higher one.
Oh wait, that was 16.
Plus your modifier.
Plus, sorry.
Modifier as well.
Plus my modifier is.
Should be enough. So usually like a +5 or +4 or something like
I'm
that.
looking for my attack modifier right now.
Notice hit attack.
Yeah, it's where the dice roll is, and it says plus blank.
+6.
Yeah, that's probably it. Yeah, you have a pretty high dex then probably.
Yeah.
Cool. So then yeah, that's a hit. So you get to roll for damage, and you get to roll your sneak attack, which should be what level are you?
3. I'm level 5. 3d6.
Yeah, there you go. Some beefy sneak attack damage.
All right.
So roll normal damage plus 3d6, and then add your
Okay, so my normal
Ability
damage
modifier.
is 1d8. Well, normal damage is because I'm level 5 is 5d8, and then 3d6.
It'll be 1d8 plus whatever it says there.
1d8 plus whatever. Okay, so
Yeah, plus your yeah. It should be plus
3.
4 on his. Yeah.
3 and then 6.
So 3 and 6 for what?
For my so 3 was my
3 was the d8.
Yeah.
So 3 plus whatever it tells you on there, which is plus 4.
Yeah.
You should only be rolling 1 dice here, and you
Okay.
should be adding your ability modifier to that dice.
Are you unarmed?
No, I'm not unarmed. I have.
So what does it say on the
right
plus
now it says
damage part?
unarmed.
It says 1d whatever plus whatever.
Because then I don't.
If you want, you can give it to me.
I don't think it
I
adds
can't
my
bring up your
weapons.
character sheet while in the combat thing here. So
Here's your sneak attack. You got that. Well, it shows unarmed strike for his. I don't
No,
see
he's
what-
probably
No,
using
but
like
I
a.
think I have.
Oh,
I
he
have
didn't. He didn't. I don't think he's.
Just go ahead and if you want, pass me and I'll look at it real quick.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're good.
Because I hate the app. I hate the app.
Do you?
Yes.
You don't have
Print it.
you don't have your weapon equipped right now?
Yeah, we'll print
Yeah,
it out.
that's what I'm
I
saying.
had my.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think he has his weapon
I
equipped.
had
so
my
we don't-
dual
so
wield. I had
it's-
my sword and my dagger out,
Mm-hmm.
but I
kind
didn't.
of sword is
I
it?
don't. I didn't put it on the.
Yeah, it's not.
so-
It's not equipped on there, so we don't see it.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Are you on the app? No, you're on the website. Don't use the website. Use the app. The website is so hard to
Oh
manage
yeah,
on the phone.
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
The app makes it so much easier.
That's how we get future sponsorship, guys.
Right? If you
God,
download
is
the
that
app,
you?
it's way better than going on the website on the phone. On the website on the phone, it's so hard to navigate. Really, it is. Yeah, and then you have to make sure you have the weapon equipped so you can have those stats in your thing. So that's gonna be 1d8 plus 4. So that's gonna be. You said you rolled a 6 on that.
Yes.
6, 7, 8, 9,
Pretty sure you weren't
10.
punching him like me.
So
man.
10, and then roll your 3d6 for your sneak attack damage on top of that, and I'll give him the 10 damage immediately.
Wiping the floor with this
5.
one.
5. So
Nice.
11.
Nice. On the ground, as they're trying to get back up and regain their footing on the slick ground, you come in and just you bring out your weapon. You just right through the heart, just blood soaks into snow.
Blood sprays all over my face as I am like very. You know, I've looked very intense. Very.
Let me fix that for you. Whoop.
So you can leave it there, and we know that one is now dead. Anything else on your turn?
As the blood is like splattering, kind of like hits me in the face, and I'm like,
I'm like.
Anything else on your turn at all, or no? Anything else on your turn at all?
No.
Okay.
I'll set him up. You
Let's
knock
see
him
here.
down.
There you go. Smear.
I don't like being attacked.
Bloody Santa.
Heiko, make a make a defense roll for me, Heiko, with disadvantage.
Defense roll disadvantage. Okay, that's cool. So that would be
AC minus 10.
so 20.
Ooh, that was with disadvantage.
Yeah, 24. Sorry. Yeah.
With disadvantage.
Oh, disadvantage. Sorry.
Take the lower one, yeah. Did I get you?
Damn it.
I'm assuming
Yeah,
that's
that
a-
would be 19.
19 is still pretty good though. Let me make sure that if that hits or not. Actually, that does not hit with a 19. You're good. Make a second one for me. Just normal. No disadvantage on this one. They're already getting lower and
Sad
lower.
face.
Nat one. Nat one on that one.
No. 11.
Oh no.
You do have to tell me if it's nat one because that's considered a crit, by the way.
Right.
So just let you know. What was that?
It's not one.
11.
It's the law.
11 total.
Yeah.
Okay, so no, unfortunately that one's not. You take. You take 9 points of thunder damage. You see 2 what seems like lightning bolts streak through the air from the gnome. The gnome is going to crawl up the cliff there, and get to the high ground. So if you want to move the little one there, just move him over about 3 spaces. He's still got Hunter's Mark on him, so if you want to keep that, you can.
Yeah, he still has Hunter's Mark on him.
Okay.
Homie's
back around
homie's
here.
not gonna live much longer.
Going back around here, the dragon, the sort of like dragon worshiper thing or whatever with the 2 swords here, sort of spits out blood with his last breath onto the ground. End of their turn. They're dead. Nelius, your turn.
So that's the tiefling, right?
The tiefling is back there. Yeah, this one is the elf, and the other one's there is the gnome.
All right. Is the gnome still? Can I still see the gnome, or is it out of sight?
You can.
Okay.
Yeah, the flurries. It's going to be difficult if you're trying to do certain things through this range, but it's also difficult for them to
So-
dodge it. So, kind of evens out.
I see. I somewhat agree with you on that, and I'm going to. Oh, yes, I am.
Also now uphill though on the gnome. So.
I cast Eldritch Blast.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, let's see.
Turn
if it
in some of those
hits.
dark gifts that you traded your soul for.
Okay, well that's not bad, not great, not bad. That'd be a 15.
On the tiefling?
No, on the gnome.
On the gnome? That would be with disadvantage because he's uphill, pretty much obscured and short.
Oh.
He has cover right now. So
I thought I had a clear shot.
it
is
wouldn't
what
really
I'm
be
saying.
with disadvantage. He would get like a bonus to his AC. The tiefling would have a clear shot
Alright,
on.
well,
That's
then
what I thought you were going for.
let's
Sorry.
Gear shift here.
Do you want to go for the tiefling?
Yeah.
Okay. So the tiefling. Let me make sure what the AC is. What was your chance to hit? What'd you roll?
A 15.
You rolled a 15. That hits. Roll for damage on it.
All right. So
If you're level 5, it should be 2.
You're right, the app is better.
It's so.
Oh my god, you just know this now.
Sponsor us, no.
You
No, it's
know?
the website is just so
Love
bad
you.
on the phone. It's so hard to navigate. and
Next
there's
damage.
some- Ooh,
14.
14 damage. Ooh, shnikes.
And I'm going to use a bonus action to cast Hex on her. And I'm going to
Should have
take...
cast Hex first, but that's okay.
No, you don't. 'Cause no, because the bonus.
You can use bonus action first.
I've played melee.
Do you want to
characters
roll
so
your Hex
often.
damage right now if you want to use Hex?
Yes!
Then roll your Hex damage if they're and
God.
then
Sorry, I'm still getting used to magic users.
it's
after all
all
this time.
right. It's all right.
Alright,
And then choose the attribute that they need to roll a
yeah.
saving throw for the attribute part.
Say again?
Do they need to roll a saving throw for the attribute part on Hex, or it just happens?
No, it just happens.
Okay,
And I'm going. Were they a magic user? Were they casting?
They're casting.
spells? Okay.
They're both
So I
casting.
will take. I'll take in. Let's go with wisdom actually on this one.
So disadvantage on wisdom throws for the tiefling,
Yes.
and you get to roll your Hex damage as well.
Okay. 1.
1.
Takes one
Are you
additional-
casting 2 Eldritch Blasts?
No, it's 1.
It's just 1 Eldritch Blast?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I have agonizing blast as well.
Okay.
As
Because I think if you're level 5, you should have 2 uses of. You should be able to cast Eldritch Blast technically twice.
But that would be if
Choose
I
2
was
targets.
a warlock level 5, not. I'm
Mm,
multi-classed.
Technically,
It is
no.
not character class, is it?
It's actually under the description. I believe it says at level 5. It doesn't say at Warlock level 5. So if you take 1 point into Warlock, your Eldritch Blast should level up with your character level 9.
He's shaking his head, man.
Yeah, it scales with the character level. So you do get 2 Eldritch Blasts. You can choose.
Oh, I thought it was.
Yeah, all cantrips.
Oh, I
Okay,
thought it
yeah.
was class.
Yeah, no, it's not. I thought it was too. I actually made the Eldritch Blast video and I was talking about Warlock levels, and it was. I wish I should have been saying character levels.
Okay.
So yes, you
all right,
can
well-
choose the same target again for your second blast. You just have to re-roll to attack again on that.
Oh, okay. Reroll attack. All
You're
right.
basically making an extra attack.
Ooh, nice. That's definitely gonna hit. That is
Yeah.
that is a 24.
Then roll your damage and roll your Hex damage again.
Okay, so roll that. Nice. It's 2. Okay, 8 more damage.
8 more damage. Nice. 8 total with the Hex and everything.
Yep.
Cool. Good chunk of damage. Okay. Anything else on your turn? You want to move or anything
I'm
else?
gonna go ahead and move. Actually, I'm tired of standing here. Let's move. Move here so I get a better shot next time.
Okay. Good.
It's gonna end my turn.
At the end of your turn, you feel the wind shift again, even harder this time. Everyone on the field notices it. It almost knocks you off your feet as the wind sort of once again shifts, and it feels like it came from a totally different direction again this time. Eiko, your turn.
Oh shit.
You can, yeah, you can on your
I
turn.
kind
You
of
can.
look up and I'm sensing something.
Something feels off
This
to
is
you.
this is well. Can I roll? Because this is my creature that I'm specifically crafted to hunt.
If you want to, you can roll.
Like, do I notice?
You can
something,
roll
like, could
Arcana
it be
for
a
me.
wing that did
Roll
that?
Arcana for me. See if it was something magical or if it was nature. Heiko, go ahead and do your turn for me, and I'll.
Oof.
Okie dokie.
12.
Nothing really. It's too. The air's too thick.
Yep.
There's too many flurries.
I have a question about dash.
Yes.
If I cast it, is it on my whole? Will it be will stay on me for the
You
whole
basically just get double movement for 1 turn with dash. Yeah.
turn? So if I cast it, I can take actions and still be able to dash after.
You can only take your bonus actions, considering it takes your main action, I believe, for your class, unless it tells you can use that as a bonus action, which I don't know if you can with your class.
Can, but I can also use it as an action.
You can use it as either.
Yeah.
Okay, as long as you can use it as a bonus action, you can use it as a bonus action.
Yeah.
It'll take
Yeah,
your
and
bonus
since
action.
I have 2.
Yeah, so you get double
actions.
movement.
Yeah.
And you would still have those 2 attack actions. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You just wouldn't be able to
Well,
spend
I-
a key point to use your
Well, that's what I was
flurry of
saying.
blows because that would
I
be considered
like
a bonus
to-
action.
I would like to cast dash as an action and then go action flurry.
You can cast as an action. You will not get to use your action attack because you do not take the attack action. You took the dash action. So you'd only get you wouldn't get your flurry of blows either because you have to make an attack to get flurry of blows, right?
Well, no. So I have 2. I get 2 actions.
So
and
you
1
don't get
bonus.
2 actions. You get to use 2 attacks on your 1 action.
No. At level 5, a monk gets two actions.
No, it says differently the way it's written. It's weird the way it's written. I know it makes no sense. It says when you take the attack action, you can make 2 attacks. Right? Is that the way it says it? Should be the way it says it.
That's the
So
way.
in that turn, you take 2.
So if you
Yes.
in your as your action, you can choose what action you'd like to take.
Right.
If you take the attack action, you
that-
can make 2 attacks.
That's correct.
If you take the dash action, you can no longer attack.
That's right.
Yeah.
No, that's absolutely right. But
Okay.
I also have at level 5 an extra action. I got an extra action. Separate from the. I have to take.
Don't think that you do, because I don't think anyone in the game gets a second action.
Yeah.
The only one that would get a second action would be fighters with their action surge.
Fighters. Right. but-
Action surge is the
but-
only one in the game that gives
but
you a
they
second
also get
action.
3 actions, right?
No,
Eventually
they get 3 attacks to use on one attack
Yeah.
action. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
like,
confusing
I
the way it's
did the-
worded.
I
Believe me,
did
I
the
always
attack.
thought the way you're saying it, I always thought it was that way when I first started playing.
Got it.
It's
Yeah.
confusing. So yeah, if you use dash as an action, you cannot attack action
Okay,
anymore.
so it's essentially just an extra attack.
It's
not
an extra attack on your attack action. Yeah, it's weird the way it's worded, but that's the way it is.
Got
The
it.
only time you can take an extra attack action is action
Understood.
surge.
Understood. Okay.
What was that? What was that? I'm not gonna glance
It's confusing.
over that, man.
It's confusing. Believe me.
Oh my god.
It's
Well,
literally
no, I know,
strict
I know,
wording.
The idea is that I want to be able to dash so I can get up.
But you can use it as a
there
bonus action.
Yeah.
And still use your
that's
2
a bonus,
attacks.
and then still use
2 attacks as your
2
attack
attacks.
action.
Okay, but I wouldn't be able to use flurry of blows.
Exactly, because you already used your bonus
Yeah,
action.
so no, there's no point.
Yeah.
So I will. See.
Glad we got that settled.
Now it actually shows my weapons on the fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus
It's so much
Christ.
better when you can just like,
So much
and you can just click, on anything and it shows you everything. It's just,
It's so much better. It's
The
just
layout's better, just everything.
Yeah,
Life is easy.
it's easier.
So that's 6 steps. So that's
Yeah.
Okay. So
That'd be 30.
that's 30, right? Okay.
Cool. I'm gonna say traveling down here is not difficult terrain. Traveling along the cliffside would be difficult terrain.
Right.
Right here is fine on the roadway.
Right.
What are you doing exactly? You're within range, right? Cool.
Yep.
Then you can strike.
So I am going to strike.
Roll to attack the tiefling, correct?
That is correct. Okay, now I totally messed it up, but that's fine. I know what it is. It is 16.
16 to hit.
Yep.
That is a hit. Roll for damage.
All right. All right, that's 10.
10 damage. Nice. All right. And again.
Yes, sir.
What sort of silly effect, monk effect is going on here?
We'll see once I put the flurry.
You're doing flurry? Okay, cool.
So, that will be 17 to hit.
17 hits. Roll damage.
I will roll damage now. That is going to be 6 to hit.
6 to hit?
Mm-hmm.
6 does not hit.
No, I'm sorry.
6 damage.
Six
Okay.
damage.
I thought you were doing another attack. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
6 damage. Gotcha.
6 damage, and I will go ahead and I'll knock it prone.
Prone. Okay. Go ahead and make her prone.
So,
And that would just happens, right? What if you land the blow, it just happens?
Yeah.
It's not. It's the only save is the stunning strike as a con save or something. I think.
yeah. Well, no. So it's let me read that.
I was just making sure, but you're good.
No, absolutely. No.
I believe that's the way it works.
It must succeed a dexterity saving throw or be knocked prone.
Oh, so I do get to make a dex saving
You
throw.
do-
Okay,
you
so
do
I need
get
to
a
roll.
You do to get a dex
Gotcha.
saving throw.
That would be a save.
Okay.
That was a 19. I'm sure. I'm 19 plus your dex. I'm sure it's enough.
All right. Well, I will take. Then I will have to take another hit.
Okay.
All right. That.
This is your extra
Gonna
attack,
hit.
right? This is your extra attack.
This is my extra attack.
And that hits. Sure, I'll believe you. What is the damage on this one?
Damage on this one. Is
Almost there.
She's a sponge.
5.
5 more
Five.
damage. All right.
And
What?
I will.
Not a super big attack, so.
Yeah, and I will go ahead and knock it prone.
I could try 2 again. Okay, that's another dex save. You could just do it on any attack that hits. Is all.
Only the flurries. Anytime I
Flurry
flurry
of blows.
and it connects.
Okay.
The flurry. Of
So that
blow
was a
connects.
flurry of blow attack. I thought you said it was an extra attack. That's
Yeah.
why I was asking.
Well, I get 2 flurry of blows. So if I burn a
yeah.
page-
Yeah, you only get 1 flurry of blows. It
No, I
doesn't
know.
state it on the flurry of
No,
blows.
I know I only get 1 flurry of blows, but 1 flurry of blows
Mhm.
is 2 unarmed strikes.
Yes. Okay, so that was your second flurry of blows attack.
Right.
That's what I was asking. Sorry, I was making sure it wasn't your extra attack.
No.
Extra attack is different than second
then it's
flurry
not.
of blows attack. Okay,
Then
so
then
so that's
So many attacks.
most likely. What is the save on that? Is like a 14 or something?
the save on it is.
I'm assuming it's usually like 13, 14, whatever on abilities like that.
Is it based on me? And my
It
dex
should
save?
say on there.
No, it doesn't. It just says a dex save.
Okay.
All it says. It
I'm
says
just gonna go ahead and
must succeed
assume
on
it's
a dexterity
14.
Saving throw.
I'm just gonna assume it's a 14 and I fail, so I'm gonna go knock prone.
Okay.
Usually it's like a baseline of 14, 15 or so for
Right.
stuff like that. Okay.
So now I don't have an extra action. I have an extra.
You have an extra attack now because you only used 1 attack, 2 flurry of blows. Now your extra attack. So roll 1 more attack.
So then I miss.
Yeah. So you've used how many attacks this turn? 3.
Yeah.
Because you used 1 attack,
And
2 flurry of blows, 1 flurry of blows, which is 2
one flurry of
attacks,
blows, which is 2 attacks.
and now you get your 3rd attack.
now I get a 3rd attack.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Or
then
2nd
I-
attack, 3rd thing. D&D, man.
Wait, you have to
Monks
use
are-
math?
So now this is technically your 4th attack.
Technically.
Technically,
God.
yeah. Monks
Well-
can go all day, man.
That will be 20.
20
Jeez.
as a hit. Roll for damage on that one too. Some DMs allow as many flurry of blows as you want on as many turns as you want. I'm like, that's just
Nah,
That's just
dude,
ridiculous.
Don't do
That's
it. Don't
not
do
fair.
it.
like
Don't do
15
it.
attacks in one turn. It's like, okay, have fun having the monk make all the attacks.
So that way, that's already 2 key points that I burned. So that's going to be. Sorry.
Damage wise,
That's going to be 5.
5 more damage.
5 more damage.
Okay.
And I will burn a. Wait, how many do I have?
Yeah, you got to keep track of your key points. I'm not keeping track of them.
I Yeah, totally.
You're probably almost out. I'm assuming. You've used
I
up
have
3 or
2
4.
more. I have
Okay.
2 more, so I'm wondering if I should burn one to. No, I will hold on to it.
Okay.
That's fine.
End of your turn.
And I'll-
You hear from the back of everyone. You hear the man in the order from the order brother. You hear him say, "Run, run, run, run!" He starts just sprinting down, not even caring about anyone, running down the main line there. So you can actually go ahead and move him in. I can't even step over this. And you, as you look back, as you hear the noise, he's just sprinting. He's just using a straight
Is
up
he
dash.
running
and
from
he's just
something
running through.
behind us?
As he runs past you, you look back to where he came from, and you notice the same sort of suction of wind rush past you as snow flurries into the air. And you see.
Oh shit!
You can move it forward a little bit. Here.
My boy! I just go like, my
You
boy!
see a large white dragon land on the cliffside behind you as it roars out. Just
I think I'm gonna say I'm the only one smiling in the party. I'm actually just going like, oh, look who showed up.
and then you hear the gnome sort of, even though the wind is sort of whipping around you, you hear him in Draconic say, now you'll see what happens.
Is it my turn to attack yet?
Not your turn.
Okay.
I need
What?
everyone to make a dexterity saving throw in this canyon area.
Oh yeah, baby! Here we go. Oh. Oh. That's a 15.
15, okay.
Damn.
Oh, sorry, it should be Constitution. Add your Constitution, my bad.
Oh,
I was reading the wrong thing.
Oh, that's even better.
12.
That's even worse from probably most of you.
That's worse for I have-
12?
that was-
Yeah.
I just went from
Oh,
26
yes.
to
Same thing. 15.
15,
Wait, Constitution. Oh man, that sucks. Oh, 20.
20,
16.
16, 20, 16, 15,
12.
12. Okay.
What are you gonna get? Oh.
Oh no.
Do I have time to summon my Drake?
Or,
Uh,
can I finish?
You all take, the one who failed takes 35 points of cold damage. Everyone else takes half.
Fuck.
As a dragon whipped past you, he breathed a frigid cold. He basically breath weaponed over you as he flew across and landed.
That's what you
Oh
used.
my god.
So half would be rounded down.
17.
Passed
17.
Out, then.
Okay.
I'm passed out then.
Yeah, you're downed. Everyone else took 17 points of damage.
17 points damage.
Uh,
All right.
So it's a frost dragon.
It is.
Wait, no, I'm not passed out because I had that. I didn't add the 5 that I had from.
Don't
the,
drow have a thing where they? Oh, no.
Would you like to say anything as you see Telka get downed and everything? I mean, everyone sees this happen and sees the dragon land. We're still in combat, but you do have time to talk.
Telka, hold on.
I'm at 5 HP now.
You're at 5.
Yeah.
Oh, so you were not
no,
out
because
of
I
it.
didn't add the potion that we. Put
Ah,
earlier, so.
okay. So you're not down yet. So as the dragon lands and he lands on the rock and breathes his weapon, he says,
Did you not hear? You need my permission to pass.
And with that,
Oh,
we're gonna end it.
come on, man!
Oh, what an epic
getting
way to
good.
end. Oh, that is
That
so
hurt.
epic.
All right.
That hurt.
Oh,
getting
nicely
good.
played, sir.
There we go.
Thank you.
Yes.
Killed
thank
one.
you.
Almost killed one of the most draconic speakers over here.
Oh, man.
That's gonna be a good conversation.
Oh,
next time.
yeah.
Thank you. If you stayed watching this whole time, thank you so much for staying tuned. We can talk about, let's go around the table and talk about kind of what we've been doing in our lives and everything. And now's the time to kind of be bragging about
Oh,
stuff.
man.
I mean,
Anybody got any
we
projects that they can talk about?
Yeah.
I will be doing some VO for a podcast.
podcast.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, you
Okay.
did this one.
Do we get to know details, or is it
Yeah,
under the
tell
hush hush?
Under the hush hush for right
Ah.
now.
Okay.
But, you know, I got booked. This is my first VO role, so I'm like,
Hey.
yay!
Very cool. Congratulations. That's
Thank you,
awesome.
thank you, thank
Can you remind the audience what do you normally work?
Yes.
I normally do. I'm a stunt performer, actor, motion capture performer, and a multimedia artist.
Also, what is your name? Because I don't know if you
My name,
introduced yourself yet.
My name is Von Dio Forbes. I'm originally from the Bahamas.
Nice. Hair's
warm.
nice there.
Yeah, it's quite nice there.
Explain what VO is.
Yeah. What is a VO?
VO
That some people might not know.
Abbreviation for voiceover. So
I'm sorry, I thought we were
Voice
on
actors.
voiceover.
Yes. Voiceovers. Voice actors.
Vibrations only.
Oh, yes, now.
Vibrations only.
Yeah,
So oddly,
that's
that
what I
fits.
thought. That's
That
what
fits,
I thought.
actually.
The first thing
I like
was.
that.
Say I don't think I have anything that's released that I can speak of. I am working on a I don't know what season it is, but I'm working on something at for the next month. So
And for those who
couple of
don't know,
characters,
there's
some VO, some live dub.
Are you going to be directing or working on it? You just
No, I'm
Don't tell the title,
I'm
but-
actually no, yeah, a character on
Okay,
it. It's all I can say is it's for Netflix. So
Nice.
I'll say a live dub
Cool.
for Netflix.
cool, man.
Yeah, which is cool. And then next month we have 2 shows coming in here, so we'll see
Oh,
what's
cool.
gonna happen there.
I know things are tough right now because they have like all the strikes going on. So a lot of like the guild stuff has been shut down. So it's mostly just
Yeah.
freelance or whatever else is
Yeah.
going on in the
Yep.
industry
You're
right
in
now.
SAG,
If you don't know,
get
yeah.
on the picket lines.
Yep.
Do
Yes.
the SAG strikes. Do
Yes.
the WGA.
Help- yeah, there's been a
Do it.
huge representation here in LA for Writers Guild and SAG
Yes,
and
there
everything.
is.
So
Yeah.
it's been awesome. Keep going strong with
Thankfully,
that.
I mean, like the video games and
Yeah.
dubbing is not affected.
Yeah, there's certain things that aren't. They're not the same guild basically, so they wouldn't be affected.
Well,
yeah.
it's the same. It's the same. It's just not. It's not what they're negotiating on.
Oh, I see.
That's
Because
what-
it's not AI and
that's what
everything.
happened,
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
What you got going on, John?
So I'm in the middle of some negotiations for long-term voiceover work at the moment, and then I'm also doing, as I mentioned earlier, I'm also doing a fan project for a client, and I'm voicing Salazar Slytherin in a project called The Founders, and it's all about the founders of Hogwarts.
That's
kind
super
of like
cool.
their backstory. So that's kind of cool.
I'm currently a movement coordinator for a company for motion capture, and then also I'm actually working with a EDM artist. I can't say right now; it's under NDA, but working on a new music video with them, and it's all non-union, but super fun. It's a lot of me teaching them stuff, but also like me also being that character, and it's been a great time. And yeah, I hope to see the project this year, late this year or early next year.
Super cool. And I'm doing nothing. No, I'm kidding.
You know what?
You're doing a whole
a
lot.
lot of
Yeah.
what everybody doesn't realize is that Salover is also a avid photographer and
Yes.
Yeah.
I should say professional photographer. I do apologize.
No, it's
Yeah.
okay.
And
No offense taken.
Get your
So-
headshots.
Oh.
Get
Yeah.
your headshots.
Yeah, no, because we shoot as well.
Everyone's
We're like
yeah.
shooters as well.
Yeah, I do a lot of like
Yeah.
celebrity photography and like
Yeah.
work with actors for reels and stuff like that. So I work with the actors. I'm not necessarily an actor myself.
Yeah.
Besides when I'm playing D&D, in which case I do. But
I dabble. You dabble.
I dabble.
No, it's like it's
for fun.
like for me it'd be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go do shoot stunt fights or something like
Yeah.
that, and it's just like people would be like, wait, what? And they just be like, yeah, I'm gonna go do this with like people that fight really well.
I love you.
But it, like
Yeah,
being in the industry
you know?
though, it's like you get sucked into everything. Like I've done voiceover work for video games and stuff like
Right.
that because it's like you're in the industry. It just happens.
Yeah,
so
because then people go like, well, you have to stick to one trade. I'm like, man, this is
I'm a
way
dancer,
better.
singer,
Yeah,
theater.
it's
Feel that.
crazy.
It's
Creature
crazy.
suit guys, stuff. yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I love creature
all of
suits.
it, all of it.
That's
Awesome.
All of it.
Well, thanks again so much for everybody. I don't know if there's any other last notes.
Want again, one more time, just thank our sponsors real quick. +3 to Charisma. Want to thank Lethal Shadow Minis. and also the goods merchant. Again, one more time, if you guys are interested in possibly whether you have a business of your own or there's something going on like a software company or something like that you'd like to get a hold of us and reach out as an additional sponsor, please go ahead and send us an email at dungeonsdivided@gmail.com. Again, that's dungeonsdivided@gmail.com. Subject sponsorship, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. That's all I've got. Once again, thank you for the awesome campaign today. I want to thank our technical producer, Mike, who's in the background.
Mike,
Behind the scenes.
Who works,
God, Mike.
if I'm
works
doing this-
tirelessly to make sure that we have a great show for you guys as well.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
big thank you to Mike in the background.
Our schedule's back to weekly.
And our schedule is back to weekly.
We're
yes,
back to
we're back
weekly.
to being on every week, which has been a while. So that's
If
great to
there
very good to have
is a couple channels, if we want to pop over to one, just maybe just kind of raid one of them and say hello. I've got one, and I'll come over
Got
here
this.
real quick.
that. Okay, so we're keeping the stream going. We're gonna raid somebody if y'all want to stay
Or
tuned
just-
and see some
yes.
awesome
Come
other
into those
stuff.
channels.
Help
Raid.
support
Keep coming.
the community.
Yeah, help support the community exactly.